Welcome to the Dungeon House, where a bunch of regular people with regular jobs gather to play Dungeons and Dragons. We aren't professionals, so if you hear food ASMR or a baby in the back, just understand it's normal. This show is recommended for those 13 and up. The music you'll hear is brought to you by William Heaton and various other artists. We're glad that you're here to share in the fun and laughter, as well as the challenges along the way. So come on into our home, take a seat on the couch, and enjoy the Dungeon House.
This was like how she had her rest and it's already counted for Adelaide. We'll just say yours.
Adelaide.
I'm pretty sure we're live, brothers.
Turn off your phone. It's on the movie theater. That's really respectful.
Oh, no phones exist here.
I have pizza pockets and they're very tasty. Well, we're here, but we're still trying to get one of us on.
Awake.
Oh wait,
Probably awake. More than
Kyle
awake.
is not here, and we're pretty sure because
Thank you
he's
so much.
still
I
asleep.
appreciate it.
And so we're all just
He was in Israel for
Wait, he was in Israel?
yeah.
Yeah,
That's what it
no,
was.
That's a meme. What?
No,
I know,
he
that's
was in
literally
Israel
what
for
it was
a
at.
week.
What was he in Israel for?
Just for fun.
tourism.
Good for him.
Yeah, so he just got back today,
Oh.
within hours ago, which is why he's sleeping.
Oh, yeah. No,
So, and he was like, "Call up if I'm not there. Call me."
he's
and tell
out.
me
No,
to
there's no way he's getting out. He's out. Guaranteed.
I told him, I was like, you need to set alarms or something if you want to play. We'll see.
I did. My work is sending me back out to Nebraska.
Again?
Yeah.
Oh my heck.
That's silly.
I'm gonna tell them no, though. So
Stick it to the man.
I just have nobody to watch Loki.
Yeah.
So I-
Maya will watch Loki for
Yeah, but I
Loki.
can't drive down here.
That's true.
Loki, and then yeah.
Mhm.
That's fair.
So
Well, you're still trying to get a hold of him.
I'll just keep calling, but what I say
All right.
if he jumps on, he jumps on, and
And
if
if he
not,
doesn't,
then
he doesn't.
sweet dreams, Kyle. We love you.
Yeah.
well, I mean,
It's exciting that David's at the big table today.
yeah,
Oh, David's in person.
Welcome, David.
We're still grateful as well. We got Brandon and Joy joining our Discord. We wish they could be in person because then we could share in the pizza pockets, but maybe they get the pizza pockets in their
David, will you pour me some?
or something like that.
¿Quieres un poquito de jugo?
Yes.
Un poquito.
But
You said yes, and I don't think you had a clue what he was saying.
He said, I want a little bit of juice.
a little
No, sí quieres un poquito de jugo, ¿no?
Yeah.
¿Seguro?
No.
That's a risk.
Yeah, I'm sure.
you got him.
No. Thank you.
Anyways,
Aquí estamos.
before we get started, I just want to say thank you all so much for joining today and listening to our podcast or our stream, whichever one. And thank you for all of our amazing players. You guys are always so much fun to play D&D with. So I'm really excited for tonight. Hori,
Oh yeah.
could you do our recap from last week?
Okay.
Make it good. I wasn't there.
Partially.
Previously on the Dungeon House,
I think he's out.
we traveled through a foggy forest, and we met a little deer, and we crossed a river strategically. We used a lot of strategy, a lot of problem solving. Took up a good bulk of the session. Definitely worth revisiting if you haven't heard that yet.
That's prime D&D play. There's just figuring out how to cross the river.
We
Want to use
He is from Rovine, and we learned that Baron is maybe a little sketchy. Got kicked out from his homeland, and we learned that Elia is a little freaked out and has insomnia.
To be honest, I don't remember why she got freaked out.
She just
I remember. I listened to the episode again today.
Wasn't it?
It's the rain.
Joy, you sound like you're underwater. Do you have your right speaker set?
Double check.
Hey, Joe, you sound like you're underwater. Are you in fact underwater? Double check.
Jeez. It sounds like what it sounds like when you usually have it coming through your headset.
Yeah, I don't know why. I always
There
have it set to this, but okay. It's good.
It's okay. Chase has the same issue here. We've had multiple times where like the audio has been weird with the laptop and stuff.
a little foggy.
Okay.
Anyway, then we camped out in a cave, and then wolves came, and they started attacking, and we met the hobgoblin from
Kyra.
named Kyra, and then there was also an earth genasi.
Was it Earth or Air?
Earth.
Earth?
And I don't remember if we ever learned his name.
I don't know
But
if we learned.
basically, they were from Olivia's cabin, and they may be the only survivors. I don't know. We haven't talked to them yet. They looked really tuckered out.
Yeah. A couple other highlights. Ren and Baron had a very strategic game of chess. Yeah, that happened.
There was definitely 2 winners that night.
Yeah.
Yes. Where we all won.
Sorry, my mind went blank. But Pinky and Opal, they got a little bit of time to prepare a party. Hasn't happened yet,
Oh, yeah.
but the decorations are still up, waiting for the right surprise. And that's the reason I think why you had insomnia, Alaya, was you and Opal fell down a hill
That's
and
right.
got a little spooked
I shoved
out of the way.
You saved me.
Oh, you're okay.
Yeah. So we're going to just jump back right where we left off, where Kyra had just mentioned one of them. I'm blanking because
It wasn't Kyra.
It was the Lannister had mentioned that they were able to get back to where they had previously camped, and they're not looking too good. And you guys are just kind of standing around looking at them because they're just kind of starting to catch their breath.
Therapy.
The rain is still coming heavily down outside. Very much a downpour, and every so often in the distance you can hear the howl of one of the wolves that you were able to chase off. What would you guys like to do?
Well, I'm gonna. So we're all chewing. I want to know from Kyra a little bit more details about what they were talking about.
Yeah. What do you say to him?
I've been shot.
Oh no! Wait,
A napkin?
Yeah.
Or it looks like David's getting one.
I don't think that we have any of anything else. Their towel.
You might have to get a washcloth or towel, David.
No.
Bottom shelf next to the sink.
Hey, now all of the internet knows where the washcloths are.
What have you done?
I may have shared the password to our Owlbell Rodeo, but at least I didn't tell everyone where the washcloths were. Yeah, what do you say to Kyra as he's the one that kind of looked like he was limping to get up? You see the other Earth Genasi kind of propping himself, kind of holding himself up with his spear.
Are we inside the cave at the
We're inside the cave at this point, just at the mouth of it, though.
Okay.
so sorry.
That's okay. Come and sit down by the fire. Let's get you both rested up here. You've been in this cave before, you said?
You see the Earth Genasi as he kind of between casts says, Yeah, we camped here last night. We were able to stay here, but we need to keep moving and keep on the trail of the others. As you kind of beckon them to go towards the fire, they both kind of pick themselves up, and you all slowly kind of head towards that direction.
Okay. And you said that the others were taken. So are you both tracking your group then?
Yes, Wake and Cecilia and Cass and even Olivia, they were taken. And then Kyra chimes in and says, "Yeah, we were talking, and Olivia was giving us our mission, and then out of nowhere, these undead thralls, these skeletons, attacked. They pulled us from out of the window, and only here, Lanister here and I were able to break free before they put on shackles. We ran into the forest, and were pursued, but we were managed to get out."
Well, I'm glad that you did. We had a similar experience, and that's why we're here now. Though luckily we were all able to make it out.
You see Lannister, now that he's kind of sitting by the fire and starting to warm up, because you can see that they have been soaked through the bone. Where for those 4 hours that you guys, or 6 hours at this point, that you guys have been sleeping and in this cave, they were out in the rain, just being chased by wolves, being weathered down by the elements. Sorry, I was going to explain something that Lannister was going to say, but I forgot to say that. Lannister, he kind of looks up and kind of says this more to the group. Where's your evaluator? Where is he? Or she?
Pinky's gonna run over. Just gonna run over to the unconscious guy and be like, "This guy?"
Then he kind of does a double take, like, huh? What is wrong with him?
We don't know.
So I was under the impression that all that has been happening is just normal, like initiation. Is that incorrect?
I don't know. All I know is we woke up about 2 days ago at a ferry circle, a long ways from here, about a day's travel. When we woke up, there was a woman waiting there for us. Her name was Olivia. She said that she was part of the Vigils and that she would be our evaluator. She would basically be running the test for us. We went back to her home where we talked for a while, and she kind of explained what it meant to be a vigil, and then she issued us with our first task, which was basically she had set up a course around her place that we had to demonstrate our skills with being able to get through as a group. After that, though, we retired back to the cabin. It took a couple of hours, and we rested. And early in the morning, and maybe sometime at night, I'm not sure, we were attacked by skeletons, and they drug the others out, and only Kyra and I were able to escape.
So the skeletons took Olivia.
Yes.
Okay.
There was one of them that I remember. Some of them had swords. We saw others in the trees, and there was one that looked like he almost still had flesh, but with closer looking, it looked like he may have had fungus growing in him. But
I'm gonna put my hand up. I'm coming up into the cave now, and I'll flop the wolf hide over the side, and I'll climb the rest of the way up. And how many days ago was that?
that was about this time yesterday, so early morning. Kyra says, what he says is true.
So there has to be another cabin then.
So we got attacked at the same time then.
When did you get attacked?
Yesterday.
I guess at this point, yeah, yesterday morning.
Yeah.
Someone roll a history check for me. You can all do it, it doesn't matter.
Well, if I can do it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't take mine.
That's fine.
I give a question.
Yeah.
Would Elia know anything about
Going here.
yeah. Or that person?
Olivia?
Yeah. Would she know Olivia or have seen Olivia?
Or even seen the person that's in the stretcher that you guys have been carrying?
Yeah.
Make another history check for me.
13.
13 for your history? 12?
Five.
Oh. Oh. No.
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 Dice are not in your favor.
What?
Here.
My two real checks.
If that's the one that has rolled nat ones all night for me.
Maybe it's good for David.
Is it better?
Bruh, it's a 15.
No.
Plus.
There you go.
Start using that one.
One sec.
Ren and Pinky, did you guys roll history checks? Or just nah. You're okay.
I
You
did.
don't
I
have
got a 5.
5. What'd you get, Ren?
Yeah.
I got a 12 plus 1, 13.
13. So it looks like 13 is the highest. So Adelaide and Ren, what'd you get again? You got 4. I thought I couldn't remember if it was a 14 or a 4. So you remember when you guys were attacked was just after the afternoon. You guys woke up at noon, and then you. What am I supposed to do with these?
Stick it in your pocket like Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, that's where my plate went. My wife, Faith just handed me like 5 pizza rolls, and I just put it in my hand. I didn't know what to do with it. I've never had this happen to me. But anyways, you remember thinking about that you've only traveled half a day, and it was about midday when you were attacked, like around 2 or 3-ish. So there's a little bit of a time discrepancy. Like they were attacked in the early morning, you guys were attacked more in the midday.
Good.
So, my beloved DM,
Yes.
Chase, which role are you going to take?
I'm going the first one that you take.
Okay, then
Because that's how it works. Yeah. You have heard the term evaluator tossed around.
Okay.
But nothing of those specific names ring a bell. Basically, you just know that evaluators have something to do with the vigil initiation.
Okay.
And that's about it.
I'm gonna lean over as this kind of conversation is going. People are kind of sussing things out. I'll kind of look over to Ren and just say, "I know you can gut a fish, but do you think you can gut a wolf?"
Sure, they're pretty similar, I would assume. I could try it.
I'm sure we could use some of the meat from it and potentially the hide as well.
No better way to learn than just getting in there.
Yeah.
And I'll hand the wolf over.
You see this wolf. It's very large. It's a mighty beast. And the nice thing is it only has one puncture hole in the pelt, like on the main part. The other one was also like the final blow is in the head. So like the pelt and the meat haven't been like butchered. Basically, it's a clean kill. Cool. Yeah. So
And I would assume, even though Ren is a fisherman, I would assume he knows what mammals are.
no.
He's like, where's the gills, bro?
Like, where do I hold it to rip it in half?
Yeah, he's like, okay, do I fillet it? I don't. What's going on? He's not
Yeah.
stupid. A little out of his element, but he can do it. We're good.
You're probably better than me. It's been a while.
Roll a survival check, Ren, for that, and then we'll get back to our conversation with Kyra.
Yeah, they could just be talking. I'm like, whatever. I'm confused. I'll go immerse myself in the wolf. That's a 17 survival check.
Oh yeah. So over the next while this conversation is going on, you're close enough to listen in on it and chime in, but you're just going to slowly and methodically, cut up from the center, open them up, gut it, drain the blood, remove the pelt. Would you like to stretch the pelt, or are you planning on just focusing on the meat?
I am just gonna focus on the meat. I mean, I'll have the pelt there in case someone else wants to do it. I don't want to do it though. Does that take a while? Like can the hide? I don't know.
McKay and I talked about it out of game, and we actually looked it up to stretch it and get it to a point where it's actually barely usable. It takes maybe 10 hours. Don't quote us on that.
Like a day.
It's like a day. It takes a day.
Pretty short. I thought it was a long time.
I think for it to get really nice and cured, it takes longer. But you can do it quicker.
I think the reason is because wolf skin is very thin.
So it dries out quicker.
Oh.
Yeah. Compared to a deer or just any other type of leather.
Fun facts of the day. But
Well,
yeah,
I'll keep it so we can, if we want to, after this conversation. We can put it up there, stretch it tight.
Yeah. So going back to the conversation, you guys remember this a little bit of a time discrepancy. You can see that Kyra and Lannister's teeth are starting to not chatter as loudly as they're being able to be warmed up by the fire.
Well, I think that maybe the two of you should get some rest.
Yeah, it looks like this weather isn't going to let up anytime soon. Might be best for you guys to try to get back to your full strength. Same with you, Eli. You look terrible.
Thanks for noticing, I guess.
Adelaide's gonna kind of give Baron a look like, you shouldn't say that to a lady.
Is it okay if we stay here by the fire?
Yes, please.
Lannister will kind of lean up his spear, not too far away, but just up on a little rock somewhere easily. You would notice this Baron, the way he puts it up is he puts it up a little propped on a rock, so that way for him, if he needed to wake up and grab it quickly, instead of having to fumble it with it on the ground, he can just grab it and go.
Does it look like any of them have broken bones or things that won't be healed by a long rest?
No, you do roll actually a medicine check though to see how they are doing.
Oh, I didn't know my medicine was that good. 13.
So you can tell that most of their damage, per se, or most of their wounds are superficial.
Okay.
The biggest problem is that they are just ran rugged. They are suffering from one point of exhaustion right now, which takes a long rest to overcome.
Okay.
So.
And Elia is also pretty tired too, so.
Yes. With that, they'll kind of settle down, kind kind of close to the fire. Before they go, but Kyra will just one last time say, we can talk more about the things that when we have a little bit of rest. And then they'll both lay down and pucker out. They'll just lay down and down.
Sheesh.
All right.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Would Opal happen to have a whetstone?
Of course.
Opal was very much enjoying her time eating pizza rolls. So, Opal would like to take the weapons that was placed and go sharpen them for them.
Oh.
Take care of them.
Yes. I won't even make you do a check for that because that's just being a good person.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've had a long time to learn how to sharpen weapons. It's been something that's been born into your training, basically. It's second nature to you. And so part of being a paladin is not being more than just yourself, but being part of an order, being part of an oath. And so something that you do to show kindness is by sharpening these whetstones for your comrades. And so as you
Sharpening my whetstones.
sharpening the whetstones, sharpening the weapons with the whetstones.
Yeah.
So you kind of take them as you grab the spear. Lanister will like quickly grab it from you, like kind of holding it, like kind of just startled awake. And then you'll kind of motion like your whetstone, and he'll just say, "Please put it back the way it is." And he'll go back to bed.
Come.
You just push him down.
It's okay. No, I was just like, when you're conducting and you have the fairy, whatever, flowy hand, just like, it's okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll settle back down. You see that he has a spear, and Kyra has like kind of like a maul. Is that what it is? Like where it's, I don't know. It's not a mace.
Stick,
But it's like
boom.
Yeah, with the boom and the that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a maul. You guys know what a maul looks like, even if I'm not the clearest on describing it. But yeah, you were able to tend to their weapons. Is there anything particular that you would like to do as you're doing that?
I would also like to engrave the symbol on, just as a sign of protection, and kind of wrap it so with something, so that way it's kind of engraven with something meaningful and powerful and covered, so it doesn't make them feel like they're forced into something they don't want to. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. So what you do is you sketch in the triquetra onto it, but then you'll take a little bit of cloth and kind of tie it over that. Okay. You'll set those back down.
Okay.
You feel that going through this little bit of a ritualistic care for weapons helps not only protect them, but protect them from whatever life has in store for them. You know that for you and your order, it's very important to protect. Very important to push forward and keep what has been going, preserved in a sense.
Yeah. I will say, when Opal's saying the prayer, she'll kind of struggle with it as kind of resentment, but knowing that it's good. So frustration, resentment, but also like, I know I need to do this, so I'm gonna do it, but it's my choice, and yeah.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
When you pray, and this would be something that maybe the other people in the party might notice, when you pray, do you pray to somebody, or how does that happen?
I would whisper very quietly and say, to those who are beyond the gate, hear my call as thou called me, and continued on.
Okay. You feel kind of the divine energy in you is distilled into these weapons. It's not, in a sense, changing them to like be a magical property, but you can feel, rest assured, that those who are beyond the gate are listening and watching over these two. All right.
I'll return the weapons just as they were. Yeah. Probably not all weird, like moving the hand right back around it. No. Just don't put it right in the palm, like.
He like slows the fingers around it.
No.
Had it a few times. Anyways, what else is going on? I'm assuming for those who haven't finished their long rest, you'd like to. Is that true?
Yeah, and we
Yes.
don't have to go back to bed, right? You can just do light activities for a long rest.
I'd say because most of y'all have kind of slept already, you need to do pretty light activities, not
Sure,
anything
just like sitting around talking.
you could sit around, talk, things like that. I'm not going to like keep you from doing it. Like what Ren is doing, since he didn't like get finished, but since he's kind of doing something like cleaning the wolf, that's kind of at the cusp of being too vigorous, but I'll allow it. So just so
Well,
you
after I get done, I'm going back to bed anyways.
Yeah.
guys- Okay, sounds good.
Fine.
Yeah, Pinky's sleeping.
Alaya, would you like to use my tent?
I'm okay. I'm actually kind of what do you think we should do next? We just continue south?
Well, I think that the reason why we were going south was for Olivia's cabin. There are more locations that we could explore if we backtrack northward.
Well, isn't south the direction of which the skeletons?
Sounds like we need to go. We should probably help these guys find the rest of their group.
So, continuing south?
We'll ask them when they get up what directions the skeletons went, but my guess is it'll end up throwing us in front of Zolair, whatever that guy's name is. Sounds like our paths are converging, whether we like it or not. Or we could be selfish and we could just do our own thing, and we could leave these guys here and we could go explore this land around us. I'm up for whatever.
Sounds like a dumb idea.
Well, I think, personally, just kind of from what I think is the direction in which we're heading is probably where their companions were taken to if they were attacked by skeletons. I imagine we're heading in the right direction to go find them.
Are you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You seem off ever since last night.
It's nothing. It's fine. I'm okay.
But that's what I used to say when I was a kid. I get it. So what's going on?
It's really it's nothing. It's something I'll work out by myself. It's fine.
When the girl
Alright.
says it's fine, that means it's not fine.
If you insist. But I do suggest that you get some rest.
And the tent really is comfortable. It's the perfect temperature, and the pillows are so luxurious, it's almost like you're sleeping at home.
I'm really appreciative, but I felt like I was really useless the other day, And so I would like to do as much as I can to make that up. So, I don't know if there's anything I can do for you guys. I don't know. It looks like Ren's just about done with the wolf. I can make everybody breakfast. I can do something along that line to try and make up for some shortcomings.
I almost call her Audrey.
It's not Audrey, it's a lie.
No, Adelaide. I got my own character. Adelaide's going to put her hands like lightly on your shoulder, and she's going to look in your eyes, and in kind of like a big sisterly way, she's going to say, "Look, to be frank, I saw the work that you did while we were fighting the skeletons. It may not have seemed like much, but your spells are have a great deal to do with why we were able to succeed, and also you saved me from that terrible landslide, which I feel a little bit guilty of myself. I think that the best thing that you could do for us is to rest, so that way you're ready to help us again when the time comes."
Okay, I guess she's just gonna look down at her clothes because she's still, I imagine, super muddy. She's just gonna look.
You got fairly washed off in the rain,
Yeah, I was gonna say the rain probably washed off.
but it is still not clean.
Yeah, I really don't want to make your tent all.
I understand. And she's gonna grab your arm, and she's gonna kind of lead you to the tent, and she's going to be, "You'll love my selection of nightgowns." And she's gonna kind of, unless you're resisting, she's gonna drag you and find you something nice.
As well as you have like you want one of those portable camping showers, the little pump that you can. It's very much rough. Yes.
I think to pop awake.
Papa did not wake up, but he's still sleeping.
Hello, shower time.
He like gets out of his little trunk. Tent. Like what and he like crawls just like slowly over, and he's like laying on the pump as he just like starts pushing up and down to get it a little bit of pressure.
And Adelaide is kind of forcefully like pushing you in and
That she
the
would
little
go.
enclosed.
Yeah.
Unless you're resisting, but Adelaide is a little strong. So.
Yeah, she would.
So is everyone, while that's happening, is everyone else asleep except for Ren, myself, and Moss, and Pablo now?
Moss
After
is
one
still
gets done, I'm gonna
You're heading back.
cack.
Moss is still asleep as well. He just slept through the wolves. You know, old men.
Well, he was up. He was doing the last rest.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, he fell asleep during the last rest.
Oh. Okay.
That's what happened.
You can't get mad at him. He's old. He deserves it.
Yeah, okay.
Him and the goat are both snoozing.
Yeah. He's using like
How did
he's like
go
laying,
get in the cave?
it's a goat. Goats are good at climbing on like rocks and stuff.
Mountain goat?
Maybe. I haven't really pictured Philip in my mind yet, and I'm letting Kyle decide
Oh, okay.
whether it's a Billy Goat Gruff.
It's a
Probably got bighorn.
Oh, actually.
It's I don't think of it like a bighorn sheep.
Well, I assume it was like a milking goat.
Yeah, it's more like a goat for like you know the day-to-day uses.
Yeah.
They have milk, right?
Milk, you can use that milk to make soap. Have you ever heard of the goat's milk soap? It's really good for your skin.
Good guard dogs, right? Because don't they? They're just kind of like. My uncle had a goat, and he was the meanest thing. He just headbutts you,
shark even.
like hard.
Yeah. Goats are very versatile animals. But right now the goat is being used as a pillow to sleep.
And then Opal's doing that. Is Pinky asleep as well right now?
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, for the next little while, you guys have basically another 6 to 8 hours as these guys and as Alaya are snoozing. You can either, it's your choice, if there's anything that you really want to do during that time, you can. For instance, like breakfast, or you have a while. The sun will come up during this time. If not, you can just kind of get into it.
Are you gonna join the stream?
McKay's sad.
We're on now.
We've been on for 40 minutes.
We've been on for like 40 minutes.
Your character's still sleeping.
Your character's still asleep. You can go back to bed if you need to. Okay, sounds good. We'll talk to you later.
Sleep.
Bye.
Tired.
He's gonna go back to bed.
Oh,
so.
okay.
Good for him.
Moss will not join us tonight.
That's all right.
How is it still like downpouring super much, or is it like kind of sprinkling a little bit? Like, is it calmer?
Good question. Let me do some rolls and stuff like that, and I'll determine.
Because
how
after I've rested for just a little bit, and while everyone else is doing all their stuff, I will probably head out to collect some more firewood. I imagine that our fire is probably not holding up the best right now, and then I might do a little training out of this one.
Adelaide's just gonna change into clean new clothes, and then she's gonna take her other clothes and she's gonna just wash them down by the. So she's not like there's a little river, right?
So,
Or is it kind of
Yeah,
raging right now?
what's the weather?
all right,
Let's figure that out.
this is what's going on,
Pull a bucket out, collect the rain.
and then do some scrubbing.
Yeah, that's the shower water. But I mean, that's shower water.
Yeah. So, as of right now, like when this all starts, it's pretty heavy downpour. But after about an hour or so, once the first kind of ray of sunlight peeks through would be peeking through, you see one peek through the clouds. As the rain slowly starts to stop, the rain lessens, and eventually within about 30 minutes, it has stopped. And you can see that outside last night, what was a very dark and dingy cliff ledge right next to a river with dark woods around it is now a beautiful scene of nature, right? Something out of like a Bob Ross painting, where the river below is still pretty swollen with water, but it is, since it's not being fed by the rain, it's slowly calming. So that's kind of the scene right now.
Yeah, I think the three things that I would like to do during this is clean myself off. So I'll probably like strip down to my undies basically, and like get in the river and all that, and wash myself off, rinse, clean the mud off my one pair of clothes.
Mhm.
Collect some firewood.
Okay.
And I know it will probably have to dry next to our fire, but collect some more so it can keep going. And then I will probably take my sword and find like a gather of trees that are all kind of like right next to each other, and I will do a little training.
Is Opal still awake?
Opal, did you stay awake or did you go back to bed?
We went back to sleep, but she does need to be.
Yeah. Just so you guys know that you only need like 2 more hours for those who need to sleep, besides Alaya to get rested. So you also have like 4 hours during this time if you want to accomplish anything before the others would be awake.
2 hours of sleep and then go bathe.
Adelaide would probably just change and rest for those 2 hours, and then probably leave the cave, see Baron, and run back into the cave. And then when Opal is awake, I think Adelaide will maybe nonchalantly ask you if you know how to wash clothes in a river.
I don't think Opal would. Could she? I don't know.
What's your survival modifier?
Is 0.
0? You know how to wash clothes. You've never necessarily done it in a river, but you do know how to wash your own clothes. So it would be a new experience for you as well.
Well, Adelaide will take her clothes and probably Elia's stuff and. Ew. Does Pinky have clothes that she can wash?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Guess she has an extra set of
She'll
clothes. I
probably
don't know.
like to all the ladies. She'll probably go around and kind of nudge them and be like, "Would you like me to wash your things?" I don't know. And she's gonna be quite proud of herself when she hangs those things up to dry. She's gonna tie her little rope thing onto 2 trees, and she's hanging everything up, and she's very proud, quite proud of herself.
As you kind of look around, this is a picturesque scene. The birds are chirping, you kind of do one the little princess, and a little Tweety bird lands on your hand and then flutters off. You do feel very connected with nature, and it is just the dream of roughing it right now. It's such a fun camping trip. Your dad would be very proud.
I'm really good at this.
Yeah.
So I was actually playing with Opal. So are we? I went down with Adelaide to help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys were doing that together.
Okay. Opal would make a very conscious effort to cover one of her shoulders.
Cover? What do you mean cover? Oh,
Tired.
I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you would have basically a towel, kind of basically mostly, or you just kind of keep a blouse, a undershirt on, even while you're being washed up and while you're washing the clothes.
And then, am I noticing that it's a particular shoulder? Would I be able to be noticing this, or
The one where my armor, my hip goes on.
I think she's not gonna ask about it just in case, but if she is,
Yeah. I would try to make it nice, but would obviously do a poor job because I'm still wearing clothes while bathing, but
Is there anything that Ren and Pinky would like to do after they've kind of gotten back up?
I think Ren would just go outside. I assume it smells great out there.
Yeah.
You go out there and you're
you can smell almost like the sage that's wet.
yeah, so
Ooh.
good. The pine.
Ooh.
The sound of the river. I think it's just straight vibes right now. I think Ren would just kind of sit out there and enjoy it.
Yeah.
He'd think of home. Think of his life. Think about the situation they're in. It's just a good time. He's that morning ponder. Get a glass of water. Sip it.
You kind of drink the water. You feel this sense of peace. Every once in a while when you just stop and slow down and you just don't worry and take a breath, it feels very, very relaxing.
Indeed.
Is there anything else that you'd like to do?
I think Pinky would just, I don't know, she'd probably wander around kind of near people, kind of go down by the river where the clothes are being washed, or sit by Ren for maybe a minute, just picking up pretty things, looking at cool leaves, maybe stashing a couple in her bag.
Make an investigation.
Stuff like that. Okay. Ha! That's a 5.
Yeah. So basically what you said is what you find. You find some really nice rocks and really nice like leaves. Some that are not familiar to you in shape. So that's very neat.
Midday, after my morning stuff and after I've kind of gone back to the cave and relaxed again, I'd probably be wanting to get out of the cave again. So I'd probably just explore the area as well.
Yeah, make an investigation check as well.
Nat 20.
Ooh.
Wow.
You find a hammer. It's just maybe. Yeah, how far away do you kind of explore? Are you staying fairly close to camp, or are you going?
Out a bit.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to go out a bit.
Okay. So as you kind of go out, the first thing that you notice is you do find evidence of like their tracks leaving from here. And you find like the tracks of the wolves coming back and stuff like that. Something that you are able to notice in that 20 is almost the sense that this river, for the type of biome that you're in, seems quite large. Like most of the time, like in mountainous terrain, rivers are usually like a little bit smaller.
Mhm.
This one seems quite large, like 100-foot cross river is fairly big for the top of where the water would be coming from. So, and one thing I would like to do, trying to think about how I'm going to do it though. I need to get out a different book. Uh-oh.
Well, Chase is shuffling through papers.
I was very
Yeah,
excited
there.
for whatever you're going to say.
Well,
Yeah, sorry guys.
Drop some knowledge.
I wasn't expecting to
drop some knowledge.
Do a competition of our logo, just redo.
We did just redo. If you guys want to know what the training looks like, I can share that.
I think that would be very good.
While
Are you
waiting
going to
for
show
that.
us?
Oh yes, I'll be right here, and I'll just.
Stand up.
No, he's literally going to call
Move the
every
table, move the couches and everything, make some space.
Nah, we'll wait. We'll wait for another turn.
He still needs to do his stretches.
As you are going around, you find close by, and you almost trip it, but with your investigation, you're able to, just before you do, and since you're going slowly and methodically, you find a tripwire. And as you follow it to its source, you can see close by on a tree is nailed this little pouch with kind of a lever device. When this is pulled, would basically rake a sharpened stone across to the pouch,
Interesting.
causing something to happen.
I'm going to try the pouch is up in the tree, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and disarm the trap, and then retrieve the pouch.
Okay, make a sleight of hand check.
6 plus 7 is 13, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 13.
Okay. Math, guys.
All right. With a 13, DC was a 12.
Wow.
Close.
It was more of a trap that was supposed to be hidden, not one that was supposed to be hard to disarm. And so, carefully and meticulously, and you almost set it off at one point, but you're able to take the little pouch out of the system and then let down the tension that's holding the knife taut. And as you open up the bag.
I will open up the bag, and can I also grab that? Did you say it was a knife or it's a stone?
Sharpened stone.
Grab the sharpened stone as well.
You have that in your position. As you open up the bag, you look inside, and there's a fine pink dust inside.
Okay. Do I recognize it at all?
Make an. You do have. I'd say you would be able to make a history check, but you're not. You haven't been in the world of alchemy in a while, and so it's a little bit hard to
What kind of a check?
do an arcana check or history, either one.
I'll do Arcana. 16.
16. This looks like some type of either poison, but you're not sure what its effect is.
Knew it.
No.
You only live once, anyways.
Okay.
Buried in the forest, like
It's just like
banana.
comes back to camp. His eyes have literally changed color, and he's grown a third arm.
Okay. With that, I'll go ahead and I'll eventually make my way back to the cave. Then.
With that, I'll just say that basically kind of some similar stuff happens while you guys are going around. After a while, both Elia and Kyra and Lanister are able to come together. They look a lot better, a lot less worn than before, and with the time that they've been able to sit by the fire, they've been able to dry out, and they seem a lot more attentive as they kind of sit there. By this point, it's about midday, so you guys have been going for about 24 hours now.
When Elia gets up, she's gonna walk over to Adelaide. Right? It's Adelaide?
Really?
She's gonna just, like, kind of when she's off by herself, he'll kind of go up and just, like, hug her and just say thank you.
Oh, look how refreshed you look. This is wonderful.
She just, smiling. Just like an awkward, shy smile. Just like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, thank you.
Look, your clothes are clean.
Who did that?
Me. Oh, she takes all the credit. Me.
It was nothing. It didn't bother me at all.
Well, basically, Opal didn't say she was helping with the clothes.
Cool. Yeah. She just again would. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
I don't know how well the clothes are clean, but they are like they've been washed.
They are good enough. They are worthy
A
of.
lot better than what it was before. So.
They're just dirty and damp.
You put them in a river that just got swollen with water, so it's a bunch of silt and dust.
You just mixed all the dirty clothes together.
Yeah, and you
all
don't all
molanged.
clean, and then you dry them, and then they're stiff. So you still have dirt in the
That's what I
fabric.
was gonna say.
They're like, ooh.
No, hopefully, our experience camping is paid off a little bit, and they're not.
Yeah.
Barons might be.
All right. As all this kind of coalesces and you guys kind of come back together, I'd say that you kind of all kind of meet at the mouth of the cave, kind of close to where Ren is sitting by the rock. It seems to kind of be a good view. Yeah, you're all together. You guys.
We started cooking that meat yet?
No.
No.
Eating it.
My cooking's fine, but
Not
great.
A lot of us just woke up.
You didn't assign the duties.
I didn't even know that you could eat wolf.
Elia, you seem like you can cook pretty well.
I do okay, yeah.
You want to give it a hand? Give it a shot?
I mean, sure. And so what she'll do is she'll go up to the wolf and she'll basically make steaks.
Yum.
Ooh.
Out of the wolf, and she'll go up to Adelaide and Opal. How do you guys like your guys' steaks cooked?
Oh, well, since we're getting bougie, medium rare.
Medium rare.
Oh, me as well.
Okay. So she's gonna cook everybody's. Like, basically, she's going to make your twos. Like, she's going to pull out a very I would say extravagant. Yeah, extravagant.
Mhm.
A very,
very-
extravagant looking like box. And she's gonna open it up. And I think you would probably recognize, and you can correct me if I'm wrong and
Yeah.
whatnot, but you would see like the finest like spices and
Ooh.
seasonings, like the night, like top grade. She's gonna pull those out. She's only gonna use it on your two's steak.
Pablo looks hurt, but that's okay.
Oh yeah, she was helping me.
He's not there.
Pumping the shower
Yeah.
in the middle of his sleep.
He's still pumping the show. I'm joking.
So, Elia, I see that you really are a woman of taste.
I spent a lot of time growing up with a chef, and so
Ah, I see.
when I told him I was going to try out for the Vigils, he was quite ecstatic, and so he told me you can't fight on a hungry belly, and might as well eat something nice. So give me this, and so
Wise words. Good selection. Very impressive.
and yeah, she will cook wolf steaks.
They, well, would you like to do a check, or would you just like to do kind of like a baseline, like do really well?
It's up to you.
I'd say like if you just did average, you'd be getting like a 15 because you just take 10, and then you have advantage with cooking, so plus 15, and then like plus 5 from that. So, anyways, sorry that we were focusing so much on this. Let's just say the steaks for everybody are very good. Though Elia and Opal, yours is
Adelaide. And she didn't use it. She didn't even use it on herself. So she used her basic spices and seasonings on everybody else's, except for those two.
That is very sweet.
So
it's a very tasty.
It's pretty good.
yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
I found this in the forest, and I'll hold up the pouch.
Would Elia recognize what it is?
It's some kind of poison, but I'm not exactly sure what kind.
I'm sorry, but pink dust. I kind of want to know what pink dust.
Wait, what? Sorry, I was zoning out. What happened?
I found this dust in here. I'll kind of open it out for Pinky to kind of see.
Is it sparkly?
It's sparkly.
It's sparkly pink dust.
Sparkly! Pinky's excited. What? Does Pinky have any idea what this is?
What it does or what it is, I think it's some sort of poison.
What was that, Joy?
Would Pinky have any idea what this is? Is it naturally occurring in nature somewhere?
He and Elia, do an Arcana check.
Okay.
Anyone?
That's a 9. I need new dice.
All right. So, for Pinky, you do recognize this color. It comes from a specific type of flower that you've seen.
Okay.
It's the name of it is. That's a good name for a flower. I'm making this up as I go. Something along the lines of like
Opal Rose.
Opal Rose. Like what?
Opal Rose.
Opal Rose.
Rose.
Yeah, I like that. The Opal Rose.
What is it? Say it again. Opal Rose?
And you know that a lot of the times, growing up, they'd warn you like it's very beautiful, but don't like mess with it too much. It can like irritate your skin, stuff like that. But it's used a lot for like dyeing clothes, because once you've gone through the dyeing process, it doesn't have that same effect. You would recognize that this is rose bane, which basically, when it is made and like concentrated into a powder form, it has a very beautiful look, but it has the ability to, when like either breathe in or like has contact with nostrils or in the eyes or something like that, it causes basically the person to make Constitution saving throws in game sense to remain standing. They basically like slowly like kind of like lose their strength. So like every time like you take a huff of it, it can like basically lowers someone's strength by like 1 point. So like if you were to be trapped in a room where a lot of this is, you would slowly like get weaker and weaker until you die.
So it'd kind of be like paralysis, like your muscles
Yeah,
are just not having as much mobility.
Yeah, but instead of it being like a paralysis and like, oh, like I can't move now and like I fall over, it's like a slow, you just like fall down slowly. Usually like in like the sense like where it's in a very open room, it probably would not be lethal, but it would definitely like knock you down and make you very weak.
Oh yeah, and Alaya would take a step back and kind of like cover her like nose and mouth with like her arm and her sleeve, and she would say, "That's rosebane. If you inhale it or I guess touch it, it'll make you weak and increasingly weak the more you touch and inhale it, to a point where eventually it shuts down your entire system and you die."
Useful item. Awesome.
Oh no! Useful item sits on the ground.
I'll cinch it up.
No.
Is it just inhalation?
Yeah, it's not necessarily in this form for contact and skin. Like it does irritate the skin, but it's more for the inhalation.
What happens if you ingest it?
It also has the same effect.
Okay.
Anyway,
It's really great. Good spice.
Is it assumed that it needs to be a lot, so like the whole bag needs to be dispersed, or is it more like you could do like just a little like
Like a ninja.
yeah, like a ninja like
you could do a ninja fruit, but it would probably only like go down by like one. Whereas basically I'd say this bag has like 2 charges in it.
Right.
Where you can like either kind of take a good handful and throw it, and that would make like a 10-foot square kind of have this effect for like 3 rounds if it's in an open area. If it's closed area, it stays longer.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it only has 2 charges of that.
Thanks. Cool. Did we wake up Kyra and I have the name.
They're already with us, right?
Yeah, they're awake.
Are they
with
awake us?
They're just. I was about to say, like, as you guys kind of finished talking about that, Kyra will say, Lannister and I, we feel a lot better. Now I think we are more ready to discuss what is going on. What did we tell you?
Why don't you run through it again?
Oh, okay. So 3 days ago, now we woke up. in a fairy circle, and there was a lady named Olivia there. And then she led us to her home, her cabin, and then talked with us about what it means to be a vigil. Like, she shared how the place we're in right now is called the Proving Grounds. How this is where vigils bring sometimes animals and monsters and different beasts that roam to keep them out and away from other parts of the world. What's the word? Not zoo, but to keep them away from people, to keep people safe.
An enclosure?
But they also use it as a place to train us new recruits, as is one that they can watch over. Though it does give the semblance of what could be out there in the real world. Though we had been tasked, like I said, with going through the little challenge, the gauntlet, the test of skill that Olivia put for us. We returned that night, and she talked about our next one would be kind of about the test of strength. And how we were supposed to go and search the ruins of Horn's Tower. That there had been some strange activity there, and that was where we were asked to go.
Did she say what kind of strange activity?
Seemed like a lot more movement by different animals, or beasts and monsters. Things that connected to the magic. Yeah. So she wanted to understand why.
What was your first task that you were given?
Oh, the first one was just to see us go through a course where we had to work together as a team to make it to the end. And once we did that, that was the end of it.
Like a ropes course?
Basically, yeah.
Seems too easy. I want to say, can I do an insight check?
Sure. Do an insight check.
It's cocked. Can I roll again?
Sure.
And that was the skill.
Test of skill.
All right. 23.
23. He's be telling you. He's telling you what, from your. You can tell he's telling what he remembers and what he's experienced. After she'd explained this, we went to bed, preparing in the morning to go that direction. But
Which direction was it? You said?
Thorn's Tower. It's north of here.
No.
That's also the direction that the skeletons were taking them.
Oh,
Yeah, we came from the north, didn't we?
Huh?
We came from the north.
You guys came from the north west. This one is like you guys came from more west than north. This was more north than west. That makes sense. This is more this area when you guys remembered it. In the note that you found in the journal of the man that you guys woke up in, it was to the northeast of where you guys were at to get to Thorn's Tower and the town of Servitude.
And that's where we originally wanted to head, right?
So the skeletons, it seems like, so they attacked Olivia's cabin in the south, and then we, based on the timeline of when they attacked us, then they went to our cabin where we ended up, and then they probably continued up in that direction northward.
You do not remember seeing any of other people, the group when the skeletons attacked you.
Oh, it's because they fled.
You also didn't see anyone with them, so we can either assume that they
But they said that the skeletons fled north. Okay.
And so we were heading then north, right?
Yeah, and
We decide to head south.
you guys head south to go towards Olivia's cabin to see if, because you heard that there's other recruits maybe there that are supposed to be coming. So you guys head that direction, and that's kind of why you were moving in that direction. You ran into them along the way. They were moving towards north. As you kind of keep kind of mulling this over in your mind, they say last night when we were traveling, the rains came. The terrible, very. I'll say Lannister actually saying this. He says, "Yeah, the rains came last night, and it was very bad traveling. We got caught in. We thought we got turned around, and then out of the mist there came. Well, at first we thought was wolf, but then it was a man, and he." Basically approached us saying that we needed to drop our weapons if we want to live. Knowing that this place is not safe, we did quite the opposite. And then he whistled and 5 more wolves approached us and started to give chase.
Did you say he looked like a wolf?
It was
Man?
It was a man that we talked to, but when we first saw the shadow, we thought it was a wolf.
Would she safely assume? I guess.
You can assume whatever you want.
Alaya would kind of think. Just from her studies, I would imagine she would assume Shakespeare. But
That you haven't seen it,
Yeah.
and just from an off-person description, it's hard to tell.
What do you make of this, Pinky?
Pinky just shrugs her shoulders. She has never quite experienced. I don't know. Has Pinky ever? Probably not.
I mean, she's had a lot of time in the woods. She's seen a lot of things, and she knows that there are creatures that go from being people to being creatures again. That's definitely not an uncommon thing.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I think it's weird that wolves would be following a man just kind of by themselves. I don't know. Wolves don't usually attack people unless they have to or they feel threatened. So something's wrong with those wolves. I don't know.
Kyra, do you think that you could pick up the trail of your comrades?
Yes. I think so. We can try.
Well, then, do we head north then to the tower?
I mean, if we do, we'll be bringing exactly what they want to them. And I'll kind of gesture over to the man laying in the makeshift stretcher.
Too bad he's alive.
Do you say, Kyra kind of question, bring them what they want? What do you mean?
When I guess if you would probably know better than I would, because I don't know. But we were at a cabin and we were attacked by skeletons as well. And there was a skeleton that could talk through magical scrolls and.
At that point, Pinky's gonna pull out the scroll and open it up, the one that says, "You fools!" And then she's just gonna put it away.
Yeah. You see that Kyra and Lanister jump, hearing the voice, you get them pretty good.
And
Epic prank.
he wanted, what was it called?
The rod.
He had the rod. He wanted the
Conduit.
power. Was it the
Conduit.
The
Then when you're
conduit,
ready.
yeah. And then this, she points to the guy in the makeshift stretcher, had like a journal that said that he, what was his name? Zoltar? Zolatir?
Zolair.
I forget. I guess
I love how like Ren is like so confused on what's going on, but he's like, it's Zolair. It's just like
I mean, I don't know much, but I do know names.
I thought that Ren said Pasole. That's what I heard. They're like, it's Pasole.
Yeah, she would, but he said in his note that this, Zarnif, or whatever you said, couldn't get the conduit, and if he got the conduit, it would basically be the end of the Vigils.
oh, that's not good.
I would agree, yeah.
I mean, what do we do then?
Go kill Xenothar, I guess. she can't remember his name. It's something with a Z.
That dude.
Ren, what is it again?
Zolair?
Oh, thanks.
And she just rambles Zolair. It goes from Zolair to Zolas to and just like
Xylophone.
yeah.
Mr. Ziggy.
That's awesome.
What if we just call them Evil Z Guy?
The big
Big
Z.
Big Z.
Turns out he's a penguin and he loves to surf.
Big Z.
Look at Moss.
We can leave Moss here with him, I guess.
I heard that. Was he like just straight from the
It's
while
like
he's
the
snoring?
complete dad thing that's they're asleep but they hear everything. They're
Yeah.
just like one eye opens, like
I guess maybe not. I don't know. What do you guys think?
All I know is they took our friends, the people that we, as a group, have been. That's something Olivia said. Is as a vigil, the thing that matters most is protecting each other. Because if you don't have each other, then you will not do very much. You can only do the amount of one person. But hey, when you have 7 people, you can do the amount of 7 people. So we need to get our friends back. Whether you all come or not, that's up to you. But Kyra or Lannister and I think, and you see Lannister, he kind of just gives up. We are going to go. We need to free them, or if anything, return their bodies to their family. It's the honorable thing to do.
Well then, let's go.
There's nothing in the swamp for us anyway.
There wasn't there mention of a town nearby? Or am I just making things up?
Yeah.
Do you see anything close?
None of my guys know what you're talking about, but
There is the let's see. Oh, Servitude. And there's also an abandoned fort and Thorn's Tower, all to the north.
that is the direction that it's in. So like you can think like Thorn's Tower is a fort, and then like the town is right next to it, and that's the direction that they were supposed to go and search.
Okay.
Thorn's Tower with the fort, and then the city.
It's like right next to each other.
But we don't know anything about the city.
Besides that, these guys have been tasked to go and kind of explore what's going on over there.
Okay, well, I thought maybe if it was a trustworthy city, we could just leave the unconscious guy there and then do our rescuing. But I guess if it's not really safe, then I guess I don't know what we're gonna do with him.
I think we take him with us.
Okay.
If he wasn't alive, we could just bury him. I read books about that.
That's a strange book to read.
Treasure. Buried treasure.
Have you ever seen a dead body?
No. Wait, actually, have I seen a dead body?
Have you seen a dead body?
She's worked as a healer before.
That's true. She would have seen a dead body then. You've seen people pass.
Yes.
Just checking.
Well, with that, as you guys kind of clean up camp and take the next 30 minutes to put out fires and get ready, since it seems that the consensus of the party is to travel and head that
Go
direction.
help these guys, right?
We are going to go to break. We're doing it a little bit more midway through the session this time.
Sorry, yeah, I'm just
trying not to fall asleep.
No worries. We'll be back in, 5-10 minutes. I need to finish my
drink.
And I finish my pizza rolls. So those are mine. Don't touch them.
Okay, cool.
Well,
We'll see you in like 10 minutes.
see you in
5
10
minutes. 4 minutes, maybe 2. We
Something like that. Do we have a drawing for our little Brandon? Can you make a drawing of a be back soon?
I don't know.
Yeah, one sec.
Otherwise, we'll do it. If
I'll
we
get
can
you
get
a drawing.
It's just a picture of Ren with the sash.
Yeah.
We can maybe like come out and do.
Would you just like to keep your video on, Brandon, and just
Yeah, and
How do you just mute it?
Thank you. All right, we'll be back.
Faith,
do I have to mirror it? Sure do. Decided to draw a dragon sleeping on a bed. There we go. Not bad for writing backwards.
He's so cute.
I don't know how to.
You want a drink of this juice?
Yeah.
I'm really so spicy.
Oh,
You getting
My water bottle is round and cannot support the sketchbook.
long rest. I'm gonna change it.
I like the spells I have for now. But...
Let's see what you've been working on.
Just to make sure, it doesn't like reverse the text, does it?
It's like backwards for us.
It is.
Yeah.
It's right side up for me because I did it normal at first and I was like, oh frick, and then
on the
you
other
did it
one, it's
backwards.
not backwards, but on my screen, it's backwards. Weird.
Really.
But on the other one, it's good.
See it. Like, good. It's the right way.
What is
Goofy.
that on the stream?
It doesn't matter.
If someone needs to read it backwards, it just
Yeah.
it's a little.
Yeah, I did it like the right way at first. And I was like,
Puzzle
dang it.
challenge, you know?
So
Gotta
I
try and figure out what just happened to everyone.
mean,
Is there a way to do that?
Yeah, you could go to YouTube.
Yeah. Get rid of that guy.
What the
Yeah.
Why does he
Oh, that's your fun. I almost said something, but
have memories?
A little loud.
The family chat's getting a little bit
Wild.
personal.
question.
Yeah.
For the break, instead of like having a paper, if we had like a photo, if we like shared our screen and then like turned off our camera, would the shared screen
I think he would have to run upstairs and like
only watch it?
to watch
Well,
it.
if everyone's cameras are off, it'll only show the one that's on, right?
right. But to share your screen, though,
I think he would have
I'd
to.
You
have
have to like,
to-
manually start watching the screen. That
yeah.
makes sense.
I wish.
This is our ghetto way of doing it because guess what? We're just normal people with normal jobs.
But if we wanted
no
to,
fancy stuff.
If we wanted to, though, like if Brandon could design something for us, could we have that?
I mean, I could. It's just more work.
I mean,
Is it hard?
but it'd be nice because we could. We'll see. We'll work on
We'll
it.
play around with it. I think everyone's back.
I think we're all back.
But then,
So before we start, everyone pray for my Photoshop because it froze at the beginning of the session and I haven't saved anything.
Oh no! No!
Everyone now, who like listens to this, just
Yeah, everyone,
lend
please.
Brandon your
good
call.
energy.
Yeah.
Good energy.
Whatever denomination or belief system that you believe in. Pray.
Pray to something, please.
That is so rough.
No.
Well, I think we're just about ready to jump back in.
You're so
So, when we left on break, you guys were kind of just getting everything ready. And we basically start up with you guys traveling. So, let me do a quick check for Kyra, just to see if we can get back on the trail of what's going on. Ooh. Okay. So, for Kyra, it takes him a little bit of time. He, having a rest and with changing times of day when he's tracking it was a little bit of a shift. Though, as he finally kind of gets on it, you can see most of the tracks are very similar to the ones that you guys saw outside of the cabin, where it was kind of the 5 imprints of the bone feetsies. There's a lot of those, and then you can see like what look to be almost shuffled steps following them of normal boots. So, as you guys continue on, you follow these tracks. You can see what looks to be kind of like scratches in the mud and stuff like that, where you can see almost what looks like chains have been dragged between these other types of footprints.
What time of day is it? I'm sorry if you said it and I just wasn't paying.
It's a little bit after noon. Like a little bit, not afternoon, but a little bit after noon.
Like 3, 4 o'clock.
2.
Ish. Thank you.
Look.
Yeah.
Afternoon.
Also, I apologize for my rudeness. My brother said something on the family chat. And anyway, I'm paying attention now. I apologize, Chase.
No worries. So, is there anything that you guys would like to do while you're traveling through the woods? You notice that most of this wood's fairly similar to the last, where it's a lot of pine trees and also some deciduous. The undergrowth isn't too terrible, but you still have to follow some game trails. It looks like the skeletons that you are tracking are following pretty closely to game trails. It's not very hard to track them, since there seems to be it was a large group going this direction.
So Opal would realize no one enjoyed the party. The surprise party.
Oh yeah.
No like pies. So you just well, I guess I'll have to get more mud. And this time put it a little closer to their face.
Adelaide did notice it was just when she was barely awake.
Yeah.
Please. Moss is like, yeah.
Yeah.
Just so you know, Moss is also awake now. He's just guiding Philip.
I'd like to do a perception check to see the beautiful flowers and trees and maybe some additional, looking for animal signs, so something like that.
Yeah, definitely. Did you do...
Trying to distract my mind for being more open about. Did you want it to be perception or nature?
Either or. I'll let you choose. Depends on like what you're trying to vibe with. Are you focusing on the nature aspect of it, or are you just mostly looking around?
Well, either way, it don't matter. I got a 10. Not plus nothing.
Okay. As you kind of look around, it's strikingly beautiful and yet very serene. And as you're walking through it, actually, it's kind of strange. You almost get like this deja vu sense that maybe at one point you'd walk through similar forests. Maybe this one. Not sure. It's a very strange feeling, but one that you're not what's the word I'm looking for? Unfamiliar with. It's strikingly familiar to you. As everyone continues on, the sense as you kind of keep going is the woods gets a little bit thicker, a little bit darker as you kind of continue, and then eventually after about 3-4 hours of travel, you get to the point where like kind of start cresting a ridge, and from the distance you can see what looks to be almost the outline of a town. But instead of seeing, nice cobbled streets and seeing beautiful whitewashed walls of houses and thatched roofs, what you see is crumbling, decaying walls. See roofs that have sunken with years of weight, most of the thatch falling in on them. And instead of seeing something that is full of life, this almost seems very, very full of death. or at least lost.
Does it look like it's like violence or just time?
Hard to tell from this distance, but you can tell that it's definitely not in good shape. As you look, though, through the clearing, you can see something very... The town itself is not very big. It's very small, in fact, actually. Some of the structures that are still mostly intact looks to be on the southern side of the town. You can see what looks to be a large church with its massive stoneworked bricks and still standing, these gray stones, with its tower that, though is a little bit skewed, still stands. The wooden roof, though it has many holes in it, is still on top. And you can even see what looks to be the outline of maybe a stained glass window on the front. You can also see on the other side of the town, to the farthest north, it's kind of almost a mirage. You know, like when you see, like in the distance, like kind of a sprawling landscape, and you almost expect it to keep going, and this catches your eye very quickly. It almost looks like the town was like sliced in half, and it just ends. And you see open space, and as you look closer, you can see in the distance the ocean as what looks like the town goes to an edge of a cliff right up against it and falls, even though there's many trees and many different things growing in that place. On the north side, you see battlements, two of them, that look to be the entrance of the gate. It's hard to tell how well they are preserved. They do still stand, but there looks to be many marks of battle on them. And behind that, on a pillar, a cliff pillar, stands what you'd assume to be Thorn's Tower. A building made out of dark and almost sinister bricks. Something out of times forgotten. It scales up and up. It's many times taller than even the church steeple, with a large wall, though mostly broken down and no way a perfect fortification anymore, surrounding the whole thing. There's places where it's been toppled over. You can see even holes in the tower itself. You can almost think of it like a fort with this kind of steepled tower that goes up. It stands lonely on that spire of rock, jutting from what you can assume to be the ocean below. And it's quite still and almost quiet where you're at. It almost like the air itself has some sort of dread. And as you kind of smell in, mixed with the musk of the leaves and the smell of the fresh rain, seems to be a sadder smell. You're not sure if it's iron, maybe sweat. It's hard to tell. But you all get the sense that this place is not, and probably was never, very happy. Yeah.
Would my deja vu increase by the sight or no?
Yes.
How much of an increase?
About 2.
2%. Percentile dice. Go. Dee.
I don't know, how do you define
52%.
52%. Yeah, about 2. Yeah, but after like staring for a little bit, the feeling kind of fades away. What would you guys like to do?
Just going to war.
Yeah, check for signs of life.
Tower is the furthest thing away, right?
And it is, like, you can see like 2 battlements on this side of the ravine between it and the tower itself, and on the other side is like a wall on the spire itself. And
I don't know
the
if
tower.
the battlement is.
Battlement, think of like the tower on a wall.
Oh, gotcha.
What's this town called?
Servitude.
The tower's called Servitude.
The tower is
And the
called
ocean
Thorn's
is-
Tower.
The ocean's to the north.
The ocean is like to the north, and you can think it looks like it's like a good 100-foot drop from it, like a sheer cliff. It's hard to tell because you're looking out towards it, but yeah.
Okay. So I guess
I was just saying, yeah.
ocean.
Ocean.
So could we? Are there? Are we following the tracks? Do they go into the town,
Mhm.
or so I maybe keep following it in?
What's your marching order as you're going?
I think we should send Pinky up ahead to scout.
Maybe
Poor
leave
Pinky.
Yeah.
unconscious dude.
Oh, like outside of the town.
If we do that, we should leave someone with him.
We can leave the old man.
Oh, he's
Way back.
Leave Moss and the goat. The goat.
Perhaps.
The only reason why this is out of game context, but if Kyle can join us next game, we'll probably be doing things down there, and so I would like to allow him to have the opportunity to play.
Here.
And so you can tell that Moss is very like stringent. Like, I don't want to sit here babysitting the dead body.
Well, let's just keep bringing him along, and perhaps we'll find a place if we need to leave him somewhere. But for now, it's not a big deal. Who's carrying him right now?
I assume that Pablo is carrying one side.
I carry the other side, so I'll be.
I'll just say Elia probably would try and take a turn too.
I just assumed that you guys have been kind of switching out, but Pablo's been kind of the guy. He's been putting up a list. There's like a sign-up sheet that you can do.
Take a shift.
Yeah,
Everyone gets a chance to sign it.
exactly. You guys get like different like turns depending on the time. He's keeping quite well track.
Pinky will attempt to sign up, but of course she will be turned away.
He'll allow you to sign up. Basically, what he does during that time is he just like kind of carries the whole thing by himself, and then you just like hold him onto one side. As you guys are like kind of heading down together, was there anything else forgetting?
Wait, did we send Pinky to scout or no? Are we not doing that?
Yeah.
We are doing
I mean,
that.
Pinky's down to scout. Yeah.
I vote we send you up through, because then you can flutter in through, do whatever you need to do.
Yep. Pinky will pull out her black cloak and put it on.
You know,
Okay.
a little less suspicious, a little more conspicuous. That makes sense. Roll a stealth for me. I'm
Okay.
assuming you're just going to want to stealth with your scouting.
Yes. Yes, yes. Well, that is it's a 13. All right.
Let me check something real quick.
Today is not my day.
It could be intimidation checks.
It could be intimidation checks.
Is Pinky intimidating?
I mean, she has a decent charisma, so technically her intimidation skills are above
You
average.
probably have
So.
Jason than I do.
Well, I was thinking, is Joy's characters intimidating? Just to refer back to Ari and all of her fails to intimidate.
That was
Whoa.
it was a homage to Ari, so
I really think that there should be some sort of advantage or something to characters with low charisma, but like are really actually intimidating, like Ari was, you know?
Listen to me, girl. I'll tell you what I think. This is what I think. Sometimes you can do an intimidation check. You don't even need to use your charisma. You can use your strength. It just depends on how you're trying to intimidate. That's my 2 cents.
Wait, really?
There we
Yeah.
go.
yeah, that's how I would.
Yeah.
Southern.
Well, I wish we had done that. It's okay. I'm fine. Not
It just
bitter.
depends on the DM and stuff like that. So each one,
Yeah.
Some people-
Not hating on DMs that
like, do that.
Yeah.
I like the idea of, like, if my character is good at strength, there's more than you can do with just strength than just athletics. Like, let's try something different.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Cool,
I thought
cool.
that's what everyone was referring to as the joke.
That's what I thought too, so.
yeah, they're definitely
That definitely it was good. Like, another idea, like, just going on tangent. Like, say if you were trying to persuade someone that was a bodybuilder, you could use your athletics or your strength to, like, bond with them. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Kind of like that idea, where sometimes charisma isn't the best way to get, like talk with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, like,
Okay.
sometimes I give you guys like the option of, like, hey, do you feel like this is more of like investigation or like perception or like nature check? Just that way.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends on the way you do it. Defines like what kind of result you get, because it's like a different type of check. But yeah,
Okay.
we're just free flowing here. I did wear my D&D shirt. Wait, rep.
That's mine.
Anyways, so to keep going, we were having
I was
Pinky
stealthing,
scout.
yeah.
13 on passive. I will remember that. So as you guys kind of are watching, you see Pinky put on her black coat, and as you kind of dart away, you kind of TIE fighter skirting through the trees and
She's
stuff.
humming her own little song.
As you get to the edge of the town, it becomes quite clear that this town has, from the looks of it, been destroyed by both. You can see craters in the ground, and you can see places where it looks like fires have been set, but also there is a lot of damage here from just the amount of time that's passed since this was a hospitable place. You notice one thing in particular is there's a lot of old bones strewn about. Some of them are not very intact. Maybe just a piece here, scrap there. And among the bones are very, very old and rusted weapons. As you dart between wall and behind a bush, stuff like that, you get to the point where you're about to head out and turn around a corner, and you see movement. It's about in the center of the town. And you see, as you kind of press yourself up against the wall and kind of hold your breath for a second, you kind of chance a peek, and you can see what looks to be a group of about 10 skeletons slowly walking in the area. As you kind of reset and look back, you take time to what would you like to do?
So 10 skeletons. So they're just in the center of town. Does it look like they're kind of in a group? Are they kind of spread out? Are they mingling? Like, what are they doing?
It looks like, I mean, they're skeletons. They don't really usually mingle.
Right.
But
Hey, like, are they walking around? Are they like stationary, or like what are they
yeah,
doing?
no worries. I just imagine like while I'm like Prince, none of this is authorized to say. They're kind of in groups of like usually like 2 to 3, and you can only see 10 right now.
Mhm.
And they look like they're patrolling. From the looks of it.
Okay.
In a formation, or
Yeah, kind of like some will like kind of walk down, and they kind of like pass out of sight as they head more towards the west, and you can see some also take off towards the east. You're like about 100 feet away from that church, just on the cusp of the outskirts of town. And on the other side from here, you can see those big battlements that are on this side of the ravine. It looks like maybe that once, it's hard to tell from here, but it looks like that might be a bridge for crossing to get to the spire with that has on top of it the tower.
Okay. Pinky will probably head back and report what she saw.
Okay. As you turn to head back, you see you see the skeletons, one kind of in the center of the town who is covered in mushrooms, reaches into a pack and yells, "Alarm! Alarm! Alarm!" And then you see all the skeletons grab their weapons, whether it be swords and bows, and they start running. But not after you. As you look and like you're about to run, expecting them to fully be chasing you, you look and you see something pressed over the tops of the roofs on the other side. You can hear now it approaching the thunder of the da-dun, 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 da-dun. And you hear this bugle, this bellow. It's very deep and guttural, but you can also hear like the screeching of metal. It almost sounds like it's being torn apart as the skeletons all kind of coalesce and get prepared. And charging in front of them is this massive mechanical bolt. As it just charges and it flings like 5 of them at a time, just as it just scatters them with one hit. The mage one kind of pulls out another one as this happens and says, like, kind of fall back. As you can see, more of the skeletons that have been kind of set up around the town kind of start kind of coalescing together, and you can see at this point, like, they're starting to fire arrows at it, and they're just kind of plinking off. Some of them finding purchase between the sheets of metal that make up its skin. Most of them not. And then as it kind of is being hit from one side, it turns and it breathes out this green smoke. And as it does that, these skeletons, like a group of 5 of them on the other side, all of them in mid bowstring are running up with their swords are frozen. As you look, and they have been turned to stone.
By the bull?
Of the bull. As they stay there, you can see him kind of move off and kind of keep fighting. And you can see that the skeletons kind of pull back, and the bull kind of heads towards the battlements. And as it gets there, it like kind of stops and like looks around. It looks down, and it kind of like does like a tromp with its foot, like it looks almost frustrated. And it turns around and starts coming back towards you, towards your side. And as it stops, you can see that it comes up to the skeletons that are frozen, as the other ones have been scattered and are more or less probably hiding somewhere. And it just starts brushing the petrified bones and eating them. And it's like this massive, like jaw just starts, and you can hear like the stone scraping
That's
on the metal. And as you get up to go and fly, you think you're being quiet enough. It sees you as you step on a twig. And fear goes from your toes to the top of your head. Let you and I roll initiative.
Get out of there, Pinky. Get out of there. Just fly all the way straight up.
No offense, Pinky, but I'm rooting for the bull.
How dare you? Okay,
No, but
let's
we
see.
We
Initiative.
any of them.
You guys can hear the sounds of what seems like something going on there.
But we're
We're
not
like,
like
what did she do? Oh my gosh.
You guys are about, I'd say, 1,000 feet away.
Okay.
If not farther. Probably farther.
So it's not like you're really gonna.
You guys could.
Right.
It will take most likely 20 rounds to get there.
Oh, I have a short bonus yesterday.
That's at full dashing. You can go about 1,200 feet in 20 rounds.
We're out.
So,
Sorry, Pinky, you're up. Good
Yep.
luck.
I got an 8.
it is about, from where you're at, it's about 300 feet away. So it's not close.
If
Okay.
she doesn't come back, we'll go looking.
She can
Okay.
fly over the bull
That's
for a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Wait, how big is the bull?
The bull, it is technically a large monstrosity. So, like, think of a large boulder size. It takes up 10 foot by 10 foot if you had, like, a map that had 5 foot squares divided out.
Cool.
Okay. Cool.
He seems very hungry and wants to turn you into stone so he can eat you.
Okay.
Roy, what did you roll for initiative?
I rolled an 8. I got an 8. You are muted.
You're muted somehow.
Oh, my bad. I must have accidentally hit it with my hand. My notes. So, Pinky, it's the bull's turn first.
Yeah, I thought so.
But since he's 300 feet away and he sees you, he is going to use his full action to move. Make sure he doesn't have anything else that he can do. Yep. So he moves 80 feet.
Whoa. Whoa.
As he is doing his best to chase you down. The gap between you is about
Yes.
220.
Okay. Cool. Well, Pinky is going to what is she gonna do? She's gonna fly up. I'm assuming that with 30 feet she can fly onto a rooftop. Yes? How high
Yeah.
are these buildings? Okay.
The highest
maybe-
would be the church building, and its roof is about 30 feet, and the steeple itself, have 30 feet. No, the roof would be like 20 feet, but the steeple itself would be like 45 feet high at the top.
Okay.
Mind
Well,
you, you're
I'm
about
just gonna.
you're about
Oh, go
100
ahead.
feet away from that.
Okay. Yeah, just the closest building. I'm just gonna fly up on top of it and try to hide.
You are like the closest building. Most of them are dilapidated, but you can find one that has like a roof like within 30 feet of you. A little bit of
Okay.
one. Make
Cool.
your stealth check.
Make my stealth check. Come on, don't fail me. Well, that's an 11.
With that, you run. You can't jump behind like this old dilapidated chimney. This bull seems a little bit more intelligent than skeletons. And
Yeah.
is there anything else that you'd like to do with your turn? He was able to watch you hide. I need to change this music. This is not bullfighting.
I need more music. I need to ask Will or Joy's dad. I need to text him.
Yeah, that's all she's gonna do. She's just gonna try and hide.
All right. So
Well,
he will continue to charge.
okay.
So he rolled very well to attack the building that is between him and you, as he's just straight line beelining. As you see, like he's kind of out of sight for you, but you can see like him just mowing down these old dilapidated buildings, just breaking through the soggy wood and the little masonry stone as he's just heading directly towards where you are at. He gains another 80 feet closer towards you, which means that he now is only 140 feet away.
Okay.
It's 220 minus 80 would be 206 minus 60, 120.
Okay.
Evelyn.
Pinky is going to abandon the idea of trying to hide, and she's just gonna fly 60 feet up and towards her friends, diagonally, in a dash.
So if you go 60 feet up diagonally, you'll go sideways 30 feet and up 30 feet. So you'll be about like 40 feet up in the air.
Okay.
Pythagorean theorem.
No, it's just like, think of it like in D&D terms, you go boop, boop.
Yeah.
But you diagonally, you only got, you have like these square movements of square space up above. I don't know. That's how my brain thinks of it.
Yeah,
Anyways.
it's good enough for me.
It is the bull's turn again, unless you're trying to do an action besides. Oh, you took a dash.
Yeah, I
Is there
took the
anything
dash action.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can I take the dodge action as a bonus action in case any projectiles come at me?
Of course, yeah, you do that. The bull, with its turn, is going to run another 80 feet, as now he is 60 feet away from you. But he is 40 feet down, as he is just charging through these buildings, decimating them. You can hear at this point, with his closer, the sounds of like the bellow of like an ox mixed with the sound of if there were cars in D&D, the sound of a car being like torn in half.
Mm-hmm.
Transformers sound effects.
It's your turn again.
Um. Yeah, Pinky.
Make a perception check, because you guys are
I
like.
know it's her turn, but I'm
And I
just
one too.
no.
No.
I rolled the same number.
What'd you guys roll?
You hear something really loud going like, oh my goodness, that's not good.
How loud is the scroll that I have?
Oh,
That's a good question.
that.
He does say "you fools" very loudly. You need to roll? Yeah, you could roll.
Or did I need to?
You don't need to if you don't want to.
Okay.
So if I took out my you fool scroll and I sounded it in the direction of my friends, is there a shot they could hear me at all?
Of course there is.
Maybe.
This is
Okay,
D&D. That's
she's gonna-
super fun.
She's gonna do that, and then she's gonna fly straight up 30 feet.
I
And
rolled
take the
a-
dodge action again.
Okay. Opal, what did you get for your sound check?
For perception, is that?
Yeah, perception.
Oh, 12. That was the second.
And
And I asked him, so that's the real one.
Ren, did you roll for perception?
That's a 15.
15. Okay. Ren, you just barely hear from the distance between the crashes and the sound of screeching metal, the faintest, "You fools!"
Guys, I think she's gotten herself into a
Yeah.
tangled net, figuratively.
Sure, she's not just playing a prank on someone.
Well, I'd rather be safe than sorry. But I don't know what we can do from over here.
Can Adelaide just draw her sword and move swiftly? Run?
You guys can move swiftly. Well, just say, like, I'm assuming the party is following, or no?
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, that's all we can do is go.
Carrying the guy.
You did say that.
I am carrying the guy, so maybe never mind.
We'll just carry him faster.
Adelaide. It's like,
Homeward bound. No. Yeah, you guys will say, for the sake of the story, you guys are heading towards whatever's going on down there.
okay. With haste.
Back to Pinky and the bowl. It is the bowl's turn. As it gets directly beneath you, and as it kind of like is standing there, pacing back and forth, is going to like look at you, and you can see like in its eyes almost this green fire. And as it kind of breathes, like this green smoke kind of comes out, but you can almost look inside. You can almost see like the little bit of like green fire coming out of its nostrils and out of its mouth as it kind of shakes its head. And as it kind of stands up, and it's going to like reach up, and it's going to breathe this green smoke towards you.
Kind of.
You, at this moment, are about 70 feet in the air. The smoke can only get up. The creature's height is about 10 feet and 30 feet.
Oh. It's okay.
You are okay. With this, it gets very frustrated as it kind of stomps on the ground, just starts smashing the buildings around, and is pacing, keeping an eye on you as you are flying up there, and you can feel your chest like. and like your heart rate just peaking at this moment. We are out of combat unless you head back down there.
I mean, what do you want to shoot it?
You gonna shoot it?
I'm gonna give it one. I don't know.
Do it.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
already
I'm
wanting to kill you. So
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot it. Let's give it a try. Okay. Here it goes. Nice! That is a 24 to hit. Finally.
You
Anyways.
aim up there. You're like, now that you know that it can't reach you, which is very, very relaxing. You're able to aim up and you just shoot it. Tink, and you can see like your arrow bolt just gets stuck in one of the wedges as it kind of stuck and grinds and then snaps it in half. Roll for damage, please.
Well, that is 4 points of damage.
It looked like it did about 4 points of damage.
4 points is 4 points, man.
My stupid dice. It's okay. Cool.
Older competition.
And then I'm just gonna keep an eye out for my friends. So I can warn them when they get close.
Awesome. It is going to stay down there, and if you're going to stay up there, he's just going to keep following. You would notice, like in the distance, the 45-foot tall spire of the church. You would assume that's probably like one spot that you could get up high enough to not be in, like, that you might be able to hide where it couldn't reach you with its breath.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And you also see farther down the battlements. They're only about 30 feet tall.
Okay.
But there's places maybe that you can... Those are some places higher up that you might be able to find a place to hide if you want to do that. Or you can just stay up here and get it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think Piggy would try and hide.
Okay.
Somewhere.
Where do you go?
Go to the spire. To the church spire.
All right.
Yeah.
I would like you to make a stealth roll with disadvantage because you're just kind of out in the open.
Yep.
There's nothing for you to really hide. See if you can. It doesn't notice you fly that direction.
No, that is so good. Okay, that is an 18.
Ah, an 18.
Yeah,
that's so good. Yeah.
That's
So
pretty good.
you see as it's kind of romping and stomping down there, it's not looking very happy. It's crashing around, and as it's focused on doing that, you take the moment when it's not looking to dash away, and you fly as fast as your little wings can be, and you fly, and you make it over to the little spire, and you get behind it, and your chest is up and down, up and down. You feel, though, as you kind of look back, it kind of like looks back up with you, and it looks almost around confused. It destroys some more buildings, and then after a minute or so, it's going to kind of trudge back towards where the skeletons it had been munching on are at. It's going to post up right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's only about a few minutes later, though, that you see, unless you guys change on what you're doing, you guys kind of coming down the way.
I don't think we would.
Just, I'm curious if my deja vu would maybe cause some frustration, or
Would it?
I would think maybe some.
Yeah. If that's how Opal would react to that, then yes.
Could I also see if I recall, maybe why the tower was built, or
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, make either a religion or a history check.
Yay! Okay. And
Mhm.
yeah, either or. So that's a 21.
Nice.
As you're looking at it, and as you guys get closer, you can see that stained glass picture on the church. And you can see that tower, and as you're kind of more at the level, like looking more up to it, as like kind of the town slopes up to the cliff and then it just falls off. It's almost like you get like mirror image vision where you can see the land there continued forward. And in that mirror image, there wasn't just a spire, but it was just on top of a hill, this tower. And you can see an army fighting, two actually, one on your side, one in front of you, battling. And the name, as you look forward, and you can almost see like the visage in your memory of a giant standing atop one of the balconies on the tower looking down. The name Duruth kind of rings in your mind, and it really clicks as you look at the stained glass window, and the picture in it, though it is broken, is still clearly visible what it is. It's the symbol of a throne made completely out of chains. With your check, the god Duruth, you remember from your studies as someone who protects the divine gate, as one of the usurper gods that had been cast out and sealed away to not be able to return to this land. He was the god of tyranny.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
This town is called Servitude, right?
Yes.
Would Alaya know anything about this town or have heard stories about this town?
Look at a history check. It's pretty high DC, but like there is a chance.
What's the DC?
I'd say the DC for this one would be an 18.
18? Woo. Nat 20. Oh my god.
So nice. Awesome. So as like you're kind of running towards it, the town of Servitude kind of clicks in your mind, and you remember hearing a conversation in the mess hall where Gerland worked, where you would be with him, working. A conversation by some of the others about when they're doing their training, being in the town Servitude, and something about how it was older than even the rest of the proving ground. It was already there. It wasn't built afterwards. Something from a time immemorial, like ancient.
Okay.
It was almost like it was found here and then repurposed for the use that it has now.
Okay. So like built around pretty much. Like the proving ground was kind of almost built around.
Mm-hmm.
Or built. Okay.
Yeah. This section of it, like, or at least Servitude and Thorn's Tower were pre-made, and as you're kind of looking at it, you can tell that the battlements themselves are newer stone and not as dark as the stonework for the tower and the wall that surrounds it. They don't look nearly as old. But you know. Cool. All right, you guys are running forward. What's everyone's passive stealth?
Pinky is looking out for them, watching for them, so can she?
If you have any pluses.
Yeah, do a perception check, Pinky. 13,
Okay.
17.
17, 10,
11.
11.
Goodness.
No, not 17. I'm so sorry, 14.
I was gonna say.
I'm so sorry. Yeah,
And if
14.
we like, roll,
In the sense of really what's going on right now is you guys are kind of in a group, and so like it's not really like you can just like duck back and like I'm going to be stealthy while you guys go ahead. You guys are kind of like traveling together, and I just wanted to kind of get a general average of like where people are at
Mm.
going forward.
what's the, like,
Ching, 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 ching.
Yeah.
What'd you get for your other perception?
I got a 10.
They
Tell me I
get,
see somebody.
you would see Opal. She's pretty easy to see. She is very shiny.
see, I'm doing that.
The glint off the armor.
Yeah, you'd catch that. They're getting very dangerously close to the town.
Okay, Pinky is going to fly to them as stealthy. I don't know. Can't really be stealthy in open air, but she's gonna fly directly to them.
Since it's not necessarily looking for you right now,
Okay.
make a stealth check, not with disadvantage, but just make a stealth check one more time because you're changing positions.
Nice. That's a 24.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what we like. Let's go.
Nice. Yeah. As you kind of time it, you just look back down one more time and you can see what looks to be maybe some of the figures of the skeletons hiding around the town, hopefully waiting for this thing to pass by as it just sits there and just one after another steps on the skeleton, breaking it down, reaches down, just tearing the stone piece by piece.
Just wait and let the bolt eat all the skellies.
And we come in and third party best.
But we're
As
yet, are we?
As you're up here and you're close enough, you would notice, because you're higher than them, on top of the ballistas, or on top of the battlements that are newer, that you'd notice two things. You notice first, on top of those battlements that are kind of leading for the bridge to get over to the spire, are two ballistas. They look old, they look weathered, but you're not sure what they are. And just for those who don't know, ballista is a giant crossbow.
Mhm.
The other thing that you'd notice is the bridge to get to the spire is not there. It is destroyed. It goes out about 10 feet, and then it looks like it's ripped and fallen apart and down. And it's a good 50 feet to the other side. Just so you know. I'll give you that one. And then you fly over. You are able to evade this giant mechanical bull.
Okay.
You get back with your group. As you guys are just about to get to kind of out of the tree line, heading towards this ruined city, you see this dark cloak figure with very nice pink wings fly out the trees up above and like kind of lands pretty close to you, kind of huffing and puffing.
Guys, there's a bull. It's like metal. It's like super shiny and pretty, but it's like evil because it sprays green stuff out of its mouth and it turned the skeletons to stone.
A bull?
Would a lion know what?
Seems
Yeah,
Seems-
make it.
Opal? Team?
Opal would not necessarily remember this because her memories are different. This is different than what you remember.
Right?
Have I heard any like legends or anything of something like that?
So, I want you to do a check and you to do a check. I'll give you advantage because this is like your forte.
Okay.
What one?
They're over here like, Ah, yes, ginormous mechanical bull. And Ren's like, what? What? Like, what's going on? It's crazy.
The name of what it's called. What's the check? History,
Uh,
religion.
You not religion. You can do history. That's probably it.
7, so probably not.
7,
8.
8. It's something that you feel like you've read somewhere. Both of you. You're both like, I remember hearing about.
Or like it's like I know what this is. It's on the tip of my tongue. What is it? Yeah.
Exactly.
It's the Red Bull from the last unicorn.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's Babe the Big Blue Ox.
Yes!
Shout out to 3rd grade when we learned all about tall tales.
Yeah.
Paul Bunyan,
Paul Bunyan, yeah.
Babe the Big Blue Ox. Anyways, so it's like on the tip of your tongue. You're trying to remember to the best of your ability. It's not coming. Though I will give you both this. You know that most monstrosities have come because someone with high magical prowess took something and mangled it up, changed it into a monstrosity. So this was something most likely created by somebody.
Okay.
At some point, that's just how monstrosities usually go. They're usually not naturally occurring things that have been twisted by magic. It's not the idea. You would know that this would be some sort of monstrosity.
You said it was inside the town?
Yeah, it was eating. Shot it with my arrow, and it did nothing.
Well, I say let's avoid that at all costs.
For us, though.
Did I tell you that it started eating the skeletons after they were turned to stone?
You did.
Did I-
Thank you. Thank you, Pinky. That's so nice.
What? That's so mean.
I'm like looking at everyone like, yeah, she's making it up. Like,
There's no way that's real. Pablo's like right there with you. He's like,
he's like, me and Pablo.
I've read about something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is.
Same. I also have heard of it before, but never encountered one myself.
I wish. I just can't remember. I do feel like it would be best if we tried our best to avoid any type of combat with it.
Pinky, was there a way to get around it, or should we wait out here?
Oh, it's really fast. It can really get places really fast. But and it was very perceptive. I was hiding so good, and then it spotted me. So I don't know. So I don't know if there's even a way to get across the big ravine because the bridge looked like it was taken out, and it's like 50 feet across. I mean, that would be no problem for me, but you guys they can't fly.
And you said that there were skeletons. Were they alive, or were they just?
Yeah, they were just like the ones that we fought before. There were like, I counted like 10 of them, but there were probably more because it looked like they were patrolling. So they probably do a lot of stuff in the city.
If they're patrolling, then we're probably getting close to where we need to be. How close are we to the city?
you guys are probably about 200 feet away from it. And it's like fairly still overgrown. So like you guys, if you wanted to, could definitely stealth up to it and then like try to work your way through the town. There's a lot of options. As well as Pinky, you would know that the church itself looked like fairly good cover still. Most of the other buildings didn't really seem like they would be able to hold much up against this guy. Ain't gonna really stop him.
Yeah.
What do you think we should do?
Um,
Kind of sitting ducks out here.
So we either need to move forward or move back then.
yeah. Opal's struggling to say things because she doesn't want to flat out say, "Oh yeah, I've been here before," like forever ago. No, would not say. Why don't we continue to move forward as we're so close? But kind of follow my lead. Does that sound okay?
I mean, I have no idea where to go. I mean, if you feel like you have, go for it.
I would say that I think Pinky might be a little more stealthy than you.
No, I completely agree. I was about to say, if anyone has any type of magic, it's much appreciated.
I do.
Okay.
Bless. Bless, 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 bless.
Are you casting the bless spell?
No, she's just like
She's just
blessing
blessing
it.
you.
Bless you, bless you. No, yeah, she's casting the bless spell.
Is it a spell or is it a cantrip?
It's
You
cantrip.
But you can only do it once.
Guidance is the cantrip.
Guidance and can. Oh yeah, guidance.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm casting guidance.
Okay.
I do not have enough spell slots
Yes.
to be casting bless on everybody.
And remember, you can only bless one person, or cast guidance on one person
At a
once per
time.
minute. Yes,
Right?
at a time.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll just give
I
it to
would just
Opal.
Something as well to remember: if you have heavy armor on, you will make stealth checks with disadvantage. That's you and you.
The two of us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if she's leading the way,
If you guys could take care of skeletons, then I could maybe distract the bull because I can fly high enough to where the
That's true.
That's an
where the
idea.
tree doesn't hit me.
Okay.
Opal, make a history check.
Not. Oh. That is 18.
As you guys are standing here and thinking, something hits you, almost like a memory of. It's hard to tell. It like hits your vision, and you can almost remember like the shadows of what looked to be men and creatures inside a tight tunnel underground, lit by torches and the clashes of sparks of swords hitting each other as that kind of dual vision hits, and you're kind of taken back. You are trying to remember, like, what? It's hard to tell where or what, but you get the sense that there might be located somewhere in this town.
Mm-hmm. I have a recollection of where exactly.
But you're like, oh, that might be an option if we can remember it. You just know it happened that same point in time, that same period, during that same fight.
Hey, why don't we have Pinky's idea to distract the bull because she'll be safe. So that's a good bet. I still strongly say I need you guys to trust me.
I don't have any complaints about.
I would say one thing to just alter your plan slightly, Pinky. Could you lead the bull towards the skeletons and we'll go opposite? So if you have the town here, skeletons are over here and the bull's in the middle, you can drive the bull towards the skeletons and we'll move around the other side.
Yeah, try. I mean, they all kind of scattered once the bull came running in, so I could try.
One other thing, Pinky. I know we'll be separated for a time, and that's not the best because being together is the best kind of fun. But I need you to, when you're able, to look for my symbol. Got it?
Your what?
My symbol on my armor. When you're ready to come back to join the party, you'll find my symbol and just keep coming. Does that kind of make sense?
This is a very crude drawing of it, but it's kind of like that. It's like the Celtic knot, the kind
Like
of
a three-way.
Okay.
what it's called. Yes, Ren.
I have a proposition. There is an army of skeletons here in this city, maybe even more things on the skeleton's side, and this bull that eats skeletons, supposedly. It loves them. Favorite food. What if we use the bull to our advantage to get rid of everyone else?
I think that's a great idea.
Didn't he just say that? That's what. Yeah.
Oh, really? I wasn't even listening. I was listening, but I didn't even hear it. Like,
Who said it?
I did.
amazing idea.
You guys think
You see Pablo right next to you goes like, 2 minds? Very good. Think alike. Yeah.
Sorry, I was.
Ren says it, and we're all like, "Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do
Amazing.
that."
Thank you. Came up with it all by myself. As I was saying that, I was like, wait, this has already been said before. Forget I said anything.
It's okay, Ren. Well, Pinky,
As you were.
I think you're up.
Okay,
But we're not
thank you.
gonna. I apologize. This is a clarifying question for me. Is the plan then to go? Are we going in, or are we gonna wait for the bull to finish eating people?
We're following Opal, and while that's going on, Pinky is going to fly overhead and guide the bull towards all the skeletons and let him just have a heyday. Except for not hay, it'll be bones.
Bone day.
Hashtag bone day.
Is
Later.
that-
Oh no. This is family friendly.
Oh my god, go home.
Hey, that's roleplay. Here we go. That just made it worse. Oh my god.
Alrighty, let's do this.
That's right. We're a family podcast.
Alright, well, we will start off with Pinky.
Okay.
Alright, Pinky. As you go, what's your mode of action?
What? Sorry.
What are you up to? What you gonna do to distract this bull and lead him to the skeletons? Give me your pitch.
Well, Pinky is first going to find him, which I imagine isn't hard because he's
Massive.
mowing down
Literally
buildings and she's going to stay. So it's 10 feet tall and it can go up 30 feet. So she's going to be 40 feet in the air. Maybe 45 feet in the air, just out of its range. And she's going to shoot it with an arrow.
So as you
Taunted a
take
little
off, what's going on here? As you take off flying up and kind of buzzing through the trees, you get up to the top, kind of looking over the trees, and you can see it from here already. It looks like it's just about to finish up with the last of these bones, last of these skeletons that it petrified. And as it kind of is flying up above, it kind of looks like it kind of is turning more towards the tower and just kind of like looking at, kind of like pacing back and forth, stuff like that. And as you kind of fly up fairly easily, get up fairly close to it, and you pull back, make an attack roll.
Okay. That is an 18.
An 18. All right. So with an 18, you see your arrow go, and it hits the side of the animal. You're kind of aiming for kind of one of these things. It hits it kind of broadside. It does not look like your arrow got any purchase with an 18.
Okay.
But with an 18, it definitely noticed you shoot it. As it kind of turns back away from looking at the tower, lets out this loud, grinding bugle. As you can almost kind of smell in the air the smell of almost like a hot fire and hot metal as it looks at you and starts approaching again.
Okay. Pinky's gonna stay right out of its range just as much as possible. And she's gonna try and spot some other targets for it.
Make a perception check. And I imagine something that you do, because it's something that I could see Pinky doing, is something along the lines of, like, you name call it, and then use the you
taunted.
Fools. You open up the you fools
You fools! Hey, you giant shiny metal bull!
If the mushroom guy is the commander of the skeletons, and the skeletons obey the scrolls from the mushroom skelly, can she command the skeletons with her you fools?
I mean, you fools is not necessarily a command.
Oh, it's not, I guess.
But the other one was there, and I think the mushroom guy, did he get beaten?
It was not mentioned, nor was it seen.
Oh, okay.
But you do have a bag full of these.
Who has them?
I do.
Opal has them. Nice. Okay. Good to know.
Good to know. All right. So as you kind of lead it towards, what'd you get for your perception?
I rolled a 1, and I have a -1 perception. So
Yeah, you're just sitting here. You're having a fun time, just looking around, taunting. You just spend like the next 5 minutes just taunting this bull. It's like to the point where you're like, "Whoa, I'm being a little bit too mean to it. This is getting a little too far."
Yeah, it gets a little personal.
Yeah. Do you feel like Pinky would have forgotten kind of what you're supposed to do at that point?
yeah, she's just kind of just having fun, just kind of messing with it.
Okay. Is there any sort of trick or anything like that you'd like to pull on this bull?
Well, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, it would be really funny. She's gonna pull out her lute and she's just gonna start singing about how stupid that's what she's got.
And it remind me again, I'm pretty sure that you have the cantrip Vicious Mockery.
I don't have any spells yet. I'm level 2.
I gave you that one for free.
Oh,
did you?
I think that's what I talked about. Like, this is just something that you get for who you are.
Vicious.
I didn't remember that.
That's okay.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down because that's great. Yeah, Vicious Mock. I was just about to actually say, I cast Vicious Mockery jokingly, but let's cast it for real.
Yeah. What DC do I need to make? I mean, we can look that up and stuff like that. But I've been wondering, I wonder when she's gonna pull that out. But then I guess I didn't make that clear when we were doing character creation.
I probably just totally forgot. It's probably my fault. All right, let's see. Vicious Mockery. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Let's pull out. Sorry,
No worries.
my internet is being slow.
Do you guys want to see a picture of what the bowl looks like?
Isn't it called a gore?
Vicious mockery. That's
I
okay.
think I
let's
already
see.
know what's called. I don't know what it's
Page.
Looks
So it's
like
a
an
wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom
Somebody needs
saving?
to make a wisdom saving throw. Yep.
He got 19. He ain't
Yeah,
taking
pass.
90.
He ain't. All right. Well,
Give me school.
I mean, she will probably every once in a while cast it again, but I don't expect it to do much damage. So,
And do you lead it any sort of direction? Or do you just kind of stay in the middle?
I would assume she'd just kind of lead it to the side somewhere.
Choose west or east. It may come up.
Which
The east side seems
like a
like it
cliff
has
somewhere,
less-
wasn't there?
What?
Okay. Was there like a cliff somewhere?
That's towards
Like-
the north, close to the battlements.
Okay. Yeah, no. Never mind. Yeah, she's just gonna. We're gonna just go west, just because.
Good to know. All right. Yeah, you notice that the west side is has less buildings that direction. More of them are
Okay.
kind of destroyed and dilapidated on that side. And
Okay.
that's what's happening. Let's go to the other group. All right. With the other group, Opal,
Yes.
you're in lead. Are you planning on stealthing, or are you just going to go?
I'm gonna run myself in dirt.
Y'all stirred it up. Okay,
Yeah,
get that
blend in
camouflage.
as much as I can, yeah. That, and I'm gonna try and stealth and kind of feel the walls. I'm gonna try and head towards the church because that seems like a safe bet. I'm trying to remember where an underground tunnel would be.
All right. There's a good amount of buildings as well, so there's a good amount of cover for you guys as you're going that way. And Pinky is leading the bull. After a little while, she's saying that you kind of waiting for okay, she's gonna do it. She's just kind of sitting there playing. Then she eventually kind of leads it towards the west, which is kind of in more of the other direction, more away from where the church is. With kind of getting yourself prepared and with kind of having a little bit of the running your hands against the walls and stuff like that, I'd like you to. I think you also have guidance as well, so you can cast on someone else, just so you know.
Or yourself. You can cast on yourself, she can cast it on herself.
Or you can cast on each other for friends.
Or you can make us all believe that you're casting it on all of us, and we all get the effects because of a placebo. Like we all believe this. We're like, oh yeah.
I can feel the more stealthiness.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Roll stealth check. I'll say that because you cover yourself in dirt and kind of have a little bit of memory, instead of having a -1 to your stealth, it's just a straight roll, but you still have disadvantage because you're going to the armor.
Okay, with guidance.
And you still have guidance as well, but you're still rolling with disadvantage for your movement.
Guidance is +4.
It's just plus a d4.
Cool. Well, you got better than that. This dice kind of has a tendency to be terrible. You're good. Still not the best. That is an 11.
Everybody.
This person
Doesn't matter. Besides Pinky. Pinky's doing some other things right now.
Alright, so all of us are rolling stealth checks.
Everyone's rolling stealth.
Man!
You have disadvantage, so you gotta roll again.
Oh, man!
And roll a d4 at 9.
Oh. Woof. Oh no. I didn't do much better. I got a 7.
You
You guys are gonna get me killed.
Yep.
I got a man-made 20.
And also,
Yeah, the other
what's his
guys
name
need to.
needs to roll.
Kira,
Not one, but I
5,
got 4, and my
4.
stealth is 0. So I got
So 4, 5, 7,
18.
18.
this is
Man-made
5.
20.
Man-made 20. Okay.
Wait, why does it say 19? I thought it said 1.
It did, and then you flipped it.
Oh, it's
It
like,
did.
wait a minute, it's a pair.
Pablo is not stealthy at all either.
This is not
I'm gonna be good. Who are we avoiding right now?
the bowl.
Oh,
Kira,
Thank you, Zolair.
Oh, that's right. We have. They've been silent.
they have been.
I did forget about them for a minute. I'll be honest.
Sometimes we got other things going on. Kira barely succeeds. And
Henry
Lanister
as well.
succeeds. So for the last person, right now we have 4 successes and 4 failures.
It kind of comes down to Moss.
Oh
And
no.
it comes down to Moss.
I don't know what his.
I can look it up. That way I can be
He has any pluses.
honest with what
are we
he-
just kind of doing an average for the group, or
We're seeing which side takes it. The failures
So
or
there's 4 failures and 4 successes. So if whatever he rolls right here is a success, we'll make it. If it's a failure, we.
is there anyone else that would like to roll for
or a 4?
Yeah, you've been rolling good this round.
I don't know if I have his character sheet. I don't think I do. Weird. Maybe he's
Do we know what his dex is? He shot the crossbow. I'm trying to remember. Did he have any pluses to it?
Remember?
I don't think I think he actually said he had 0. I don't think he had any negatives.
I
to
think
his
he
dex.
has I think he has a +2. That's my
That's like an average for dex, right? 2 plus 2.
So give him +2 to the roll.
no, give him +4.
+4.
He would have proficiency.
Hey. I mean, he's small, he's old, he's slow.
You guys ready?
He's quiet.
You have to get above a 14.
Above
14 or above.
So I need a 10. Okay, here we go, guys. This is 50-50. 17. Yeah!
Okay. So it's really rough going because a lot of you
I think there's a lot
are
of
not very
negatives.
stealthy right now. There's a lot of bones on the ground and they're pretty crunchy as you feel them underneath your feet. And Baron, for some reason, you just felt off today. That maybe is kind of not expecting this to be kind of what's going on, or just not really sure what it is, but you just felt off with your stealth. You feel like you usually do better than this. But
You're
You're
better
not-
than this. I don't
come on, you've never been like super stealthy, but you're usually a little bit more dexterous than
What you are right now.
what you are.
It's like 2 skulls on his feet.
Guys, I didn't have shoes, so I got these.
Check out the kicks.
Wow, that was intense. I was like, oh crap, they're gonna lose it. So you guys manage to make it to the church as you kind of wind through these old dilapidated side passages between houses and stuff like that.
And it looks like all these are about to collapse, essentially, right?
Yeah, like all these, you're pretty sure that if you were to try to like chill here, probably not the best of ideas. As you guys kind of keep going, you get closer to that church. The stained glass window with that throne made out of chains is a little bit more clear. And as you kind of get to it, you can tell that it is in a lot better condition than everywhere else.
Is now a bad time to mention that I don't think I'm allowed in churches?
It's destroyed. I think we're good.
Why aren't you allowed in churches?
Don't worry about it. I'll still go in.
Yeah, let's go to church.
Yeah, I'm still gonna go in.
Need to be in church.
Shakespeare.
The paladin's like, everyone is welcome to church.
Yeah.
As you guys enter into it, it feels like the temperature here drops.
Oh, it's over 10.
Gosh dang it.
Man's in here.
As you continue, though, you don't notice.
It's the chill of the Holy Spirit that dwells here.
At least hope so.
You notice that parts of the roof have fallen in and crushed what looks to be pews around. As it's very simplistic. It's not like it's a big building. It's about like probably 40 feet wide and about 60 to 70 feet up. On the far side, you see what looks to be kind of like a raised platform where someone who would be able to speak from that side, like at the podium, and behind it, at an even higher point, you can see what looks to be a massive, giant throne made out of chains.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
It's kind of creepy.
You notice, as you kind of look around,
There's just skeletons everywhere.
I mean, yeah,
You notice you're already dead.
you see, like, in the pews, almost still in the position of either praying or worshiping skeletons.
Are they animated?
You do not see them moving.
That's good.
Can I put the man down with Pablo so I can draw my weapon?
Yeah.
Is it alright if we maybe slide him under
On
a
the
pew? Maybe one that's kind of been wrecked so it's like out of
line of sight.
and
Yeah.
away from the skellies.
You notice, like, as you can't enter into the side, it looks like there's a stairway that leads up towards the tower where there is most likely like a bell or something like that. As you're in here, the big glass that has a lot of reds and golds and almost like an iron gray color in it casts shadows of dark crimson. It almost makes it look like this room is kind of like inlaid with blood
Ooh, that's scary.
and gold and gray. And you noticed in different places, in different spots on the ground, are where the stone is darker than in other places. It looks like in the center place where you guys are kind of walking, where there's like kind of a separation of the pews, like in the center part, the ground is a little bit of a darker color.
Is there? So there is light here. Then.
Yeah, there's windows and stuff like that. It's fairly dim light, but it's not too dim because of that bright red that surrounds that gray and golden chained throne stained glass window behind you. You do well. I guess, what do you do?
Is there like a gold plate anywhere? I imagine you said that there's gold. Like, is there any sort of like shiny metal?
Like, as you just like look around,
Something small.
you would notice on the podium where someone would probably get up to give like a speech, there looks to be something shiny on it.
Go up to it and look at that. The reason why I'm asking is because since we're now in cover, I was thinking about going up the stairs and trying to use something shiny to signal.
Oh, smart. Wait, but Opal is gonna do the.
That's
Either shine or draw the symbol up there.
that's true. Oh, you could probably make it light up, just like
Yeah, if I
in
knew what to
the
do.
thing.
With the light cantrip.
Perhaps if you two want to go signal.
I'm gonna actually search for, you know, when you put your hand next to a vent, kind of like that, but with cracks, to see if there's any airflow that's cold,
Oh,
which makes it cold.
Yeah.
To see if there's something I could move to find the hidden passage.
For you, we'll get to you in a second, but could you do an investigation check? Or I'd say even a history check with advantage. Because you were specifically saying like you're looking for that or you're being very descriptive of how you're doing it, and that's a very wise way of looking for a secret passage.
I'll still go up to that
Do I still have
metal
guidance?
thing up at the front.
You can definitely cast guidance on yourself.
Okay.
So as you go up to,
Did you roll with advantage?
No, thanks. Okay. Not bad.
as you go up to the podium, you can't turn around it. The air doesn't change temperature, even when you pass into the sunlight shining through the light. You go up and you look on the podium where someone would stand, and you see what looks to be on the podium, kind of left there, covered in dust, is a scepter,
Oh.
and
that's
underneath it is a whip.
Indiana Jones with the scepter.
The whip itself looks like it is a wooden handle and all black, and then you see at the end of it what looks to be almost sharpened chain links left into it
So it's
to
like
be able to dig into
it's like
skin,
Barbie almost.
almost barbed, like a cat of nine tails, but like an actual whip.
No.
I'll probably grab that and the scepter. I'll take a gander. First, I'll grab the obviously I have to move the scepter. I'll grab the whip and I'll kind of look at it and examine it.
As you touch it, it is cold to the touch, and as you feel it, it's strange.
No. Bad things.
And you kind of get the sense of, oh, maybe this is not good. And you let go of it. Your hand doesn't get stuck on it. You can let go. So you kind of pick it back up and you clear it up. You keep it.
You said I get a super evil vibe from it, or it's just cold.
It's very cold.
Not necessarily evil.
Cold.
Possessing.
Make an insight check.
Or, yeah. He said, oh.
Oh, that's pretty dang good.
Oh.
21.
With a 21, as you're kind of holding it and inspecting it, you kind of hold it up, and it's almost a weird sensation. You can feel the blood in your arms. When you're hanging upside down, and blood flows to your hands and up.
Mm-hmm.
You have that sensation when you're standing here, as your blood seems like in your hands and arms to draw near to it as you're holding it. It does not seem to be good aligned, that's for sure. As you hold the scepter, it's not nearly as cold to the touch. It does give off arcane vibes as well. With an insight check, I'll let you use that for both of them.
Would Opal happen to see that as well or no?
Depends on if you're checking around. Yes, you would.
I mean, I'd probably call Opal over and potentially even
Would I recognize the weapon?
Adelaide.
Adelaide. As you approach, nothing really screams in your mind like, "Oh, that's something I remember." Maybe in a sense, not specifically the whip and the scepter, but just kind of that look seems somewhat familiar. Oh, I've seen that iconography before. Seems to be tied with the binding throne that you see behind it.
Do either of you have any way of identifying this scepter whip?
I'll leave it to Natalie.
She is going to lean over them, look at them closely, kind of put her hands over them.
You notice that the whip looks very dark, and the scepter is golden, and you can see it has on the kind of the ball inside of it. You can see where it has different like runes and stones. It looks very regal, very old-fashioned, but
I, like, recognize any of the symbols from religion or the
make a
area.
religious check, like a religion check. As well, I want to ask right now, like, what's Alaya and Ren doing as you guys are kind of like exploring this church?
I'm being wary of the skeletons
Okay.
that are around.
I would like you to do a religion check as well, Ren.
Elias probably up towards the throne.
Just looking at that.
Looking at it,
It's like 20 feet tall. It fills up this whole entire backside of the room.
I'm gonna piss you guys off.
You want to sit in it?
Yeah.
What?
You start climbing up it, and the iron chains kind of like swing, but they're so kind of knotted together that it doesn't like move too far. It's fairly easy to climb up into.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm just gonna sit in it.
yeah. Just like,
As you sit down, it's not very comfy. It's literally like
This is
chains.
the wrong music for this. I'm like
Yeah.
listening to it. I'm like,
Sorry, I keep forgetting. I just need to like.
Can I do a perception check? Just because so now I'm up higher. Is that right?
Yeah.
Just being up higher. Is there anything that would catch my eye? And I guess I don't know if there's something specific I'm looking for. Just if there's anything that would catch Elias' eye, maybe something out of place.
Sure. Make a perception check.
Okay.
As well as you asked to do a religion check to see if you recognize any of the iconography, and I asked Ren to make a religion check. Let's talk about that for a second, and then eventually, Opal, we'll get back to you.
so check out.
I rolled in that one. I don't recognize any of.
It's
I would
pretty
just
shiny. It's gold. It's kind of like, ooh.
mention like this looks very regal and it is definitely fine workmanship, but I can't say that I recognize anything that would be helpful.
Well, here, you can take the scepter.
Is the scepter the one that was spooky?
It was less spooky, is the
Less
whip.
spooky.
She's gonna kind of like take it carefully, and does she get any vibes from it, or she's just
You can
gonna
make an
kind of
Arcana
trust
check
the
if you want,
bearings?
or insight.
I think I'll do Arcana. 14. Oh, hold on. I think I might actually have a. No, I don't. 14.
You get the sense that is a magical item. You're not exactly sure what it is able to do. It looks like it probably requires attunement to be able to use. The whip does not require attunement, just so you know.
Oh, interesting.
I'm gonna walk down, and I'm gonna hand the scepter to Pablo.
And he will. You want?
The instruction to, if anything backs you into a corner, you can use this to club the skellies.
He looks at it and says, "A fun part. This is really nice. Thank you." And he puts it in the kind of on his side, kind of as like his first weapon. He seems like he's really kind of not sure about this place, and so he's kind of like trying to like lighten the mood by playing a little bit of his pan flute, but it's not the vibe, and it kind of gets a little eerie. Just saying. Ren, what did you get for your religion check?
18.
18. So this is very interesting, Ren. You are getting almost like, you know, like when you see religious iconography of something that you've like seen before, but like someone has turned it upside down and it's just all wrong.
Yeah.
You're getting a lot of that kind of sense from these things. Like the chained throne is like a really dark version of something that you've seen and seen others like take part in worship before, in a sense. You, as you kind of think about, like, you have heard the name Duruth before. And with an 18, you would remember fairly well. It's not one that's worshipped in your village, but maybe villages separate. Ones that have a little bit more sway in government. He is the god of kings. And a lot of his roles have to do with, and a lot of his iconography have to do with the weight of the throne and how it kind of binds you down. But this is almost in the opposite sense, where it feels like it is meant to whoever this is to lift them up and to subjugate those below. And so from your perspective and your background, it seems very strange and kind of, it seems almost related. It's nothing that you've ever really taken part in worshiping, but it seems like someone took what is relatively considered like a neutral thing where you're from.
Yeah, because I consider like being a leader, like being in a leadership role, it is taxing, and it is like it weighs you down a little bit. So like seeing this as like a malicious, like the maliciousness of this, I'm kind of like, this is kind of feeling a little evil to me. Like I don't know about that.
Yeah. Hey, I think that's everything.
I do actually have one more thing.
Sure.
I'm gonna lay the whip down.
Okay.
I'm gonna take out that sharp rock.
Okay.
I'm just gonna.
Why would you do that?
Well, because I felt like is drawing blood, so I'm curious.
It's crazy.
I'm not holding it. I'm just like trying to see like if it's gonna react in some way, and I just.
Everything I just said for Adelaide to say in real life when something bad happens.
And I'm just gonna like with
Oh
like a
my
little
action.
drop, just.
Yeah. So as you hold it out, and as you kind of squeeze out a little blood, and you see the little drop fall, it's kind of like almost magnetized as it goes, and goes right to like the body of the whip, and it soaks in. And for a second there, the whip looks red in that spot, and then it just fades away. And then you almost see like. You almost get the sense, because you've already kind of touched it, that it seems partially satisfied with something.
Interesting.
It was hungry.
It was.
I'm gonna cast the beacon to call Pinky to us.
Okay, you come back.
My perception?
Your perception was what?
Natural 20 plus 4.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
What was your investigation?
Another
16. Okay. With this kind of look going around, you notice like these old candlesticks and stuff like that all strewn about. The wax on them melted way down. You also notice I was mentioning that darkness in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of comes up and it gets wider right in front of the pedestal where someone would speak. And you realize, wait a minute, that's not the color of the stone. That's probably ancient blood.
I think it's.
As
Oh, dice.
Joy, are you rolling dice?
I'm just messing with my dice, yes.
All right, we can just hear the clunk. clunk, clunk.
It adds suspense.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're like, what's going on?
I thought it was the music.
That would be wild. But anyways, not that you don't have to like keep doing it. We're just like, wait, what is that? But
Sorry.
so with that, and as you, Opal, are kind of looking around too, you notice next to this pedestal, the two ones. One of them, you almost see like the little gap on one of the arms of the candlestick looks not nearly as connected as the other ones. And as you kind of grab that and you crank down on it, you can see, and you see this from where you're at, like kind of this circular area that looks like someone, like many people have been
Killed that.
killed. Steps as they kind of slowly fall down as a circular staircase in the middle of this church is made. As Adelaide, you get to the top of the bell tower, you signal the pinky. She's able to
Pinky.
signal the pinky, able to notice it. And Pinky, you noticing it kind of start flying that direction.
I would try to lose the bowl first.
Make a stealth check with disadvantage because you don't really have cover up here.
Yeah. Well. Okay. 13.
It follows. And that's where we're going to leave it tonight.
No. Gonna ask one more thing.
I'll have to save it to next time. Sorry.
Write down something.
I was just gonna ask what Kyra and Lanister, what they thought of like all this. Or, like,
Sure. I can explain that real
Yeah.
quick. You notice that Kyra and Lanister feel very, they're very suspicious, and they're also kind of there with Ren, like checking the dead, poking them. They poke one of the skeletons, and it just falls over and breaks. And you see Kyra says, "This is not a place of life. This is one of death." And that's about all that they say. They don't really have anything like they've never been here.
Yeah, and I didn't think they have any magic from what I could tell. Interesting.
They seem a little more stealthy. People. Anyways, that's where we're going to leave it. With the mechanical bull, this giant monstrosity, following Pinky towards the church as there is a new passageway opened up in the middle of it. Well,
That was good.
that was good.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Dungeon.
I'm good. Turn it off.
Dungeon house.
Oh, watch Mackenzie runs away again. Look how fast it goes. So fast. Wow.
He's a speedy boy.